cocaine and I shot my woman down. Went right home and I went to bed. I stuck that loving 44 beneath my head. Got up next morning and I grabbed my gun. I took a shot of cocaine and away I run. Made a good run, but I run too slow. They overtook me down in Juarez, Mexico. Laid in the hot joint, taking the bill. In walked the sheriff from Jericho Hill. He said, Willie Lee, your name is not Jack Brown. You're the dirty hack that shot your woman down. Yes, oh yes, my name is Willie Lee. If you've got a warrant, just read it to me. Shot her down, cause she made me slow. I thought I was her daddy, but she had 5 more. Train and they took me back. Had no friend for to go my bail. They slapped my daughter carcass in that county jail. But next morning about 9:30, I spied a sheriff coming down the line. He kinda coughed as he cleared his throat. He said, come on you dirty hack, to the district court. Into the courtroom my trial began, where I was held by 12 honest men. Just before the jury started out, I saw that dirty judge commence to look about. In about 5 minutes, in walked a man, holding the verdict in his right hand. The verdict read in the first degree. I hollered, Lordy, Lordy, have mercy on me. The judge smiled as he picked up his pen. 99 years in the Folsom State Pen. 99 years underneath that ground. I can't forget the day I shot that bad bitch down. Come on, you gotta listen on to me. Lay off that whiskey and let that cocaine be. Sweet!
And Hank 3 is always welcome on the channel as far as I'm concerned. I'm Harry. Hi, Tyson.
Let me talk to you.
And this is the show. How was your week?
It's a good week.
Yeah?
This week coming up doesn't seem so good, but...
Why is that?
We got the freeze coming.
There's a freeze?
You know how that is in Texas.
Well, as long as your politicians stay where they're supposed to be and not go into some Mexican cruise or whatever the fuck it was.
I don't remember. Or maybe I don't know.
There was I don't know if it was a senator or it's some guy, some Texas guy. He went to Cancun or some shit for his daughter's birthday while Texas was frozen and all hell was breaking loose. Like this is when the windmills were frozen and everything was dying. Mm-hmm. They're like, "Oh, you're going to warm ass Cancun when your state's frozen solid." He's like, "I was just trying to be a good dad."
Yeah, what was he supposed to do?
I don't know. He's supposed to go out there with a chisel and a hairdryer.
Yeah, you know they can't be taking many breaks when bad stuff's happening.
So is it just the freeze that makes the week?
Yeah, it's going to be a
Okay.
bad week for that reason.
Well, that's just every day around here.
Yeah, you guys are used to it.
It's like, when is it not frozen? Well, I guess we can get into Raw.
Raw. Monday Night Raw.
We're in San Jose, California. And they recap last week's Raw, which I'm glad because I almost forgot they moved to Netflix. So I'm glad they said it at least 20 more times. And I also appreciated Hulk Hogan's little blink and you'll miss it insert. He it was like, brother, and then he was gone. So Punk arrives. He heads to the ring, comes out, asks everybody if he saw him beat Rollins last week. He's like, last year at the Royal Rumble, didn't go my way. Tore my tricep, making me think about my dreams, or making me think that my dreams and my career are just fading away. Then he decided to make the biggest setback his biggest comeback. Then he brings up Cena, says he always sees him. And Punk declares for the Royal Rumble. Says you're going to win, and you're going to hear his theme song. Of course, Rollins interrupts. Punk virtue signals, and he's like, well, why can't it be Rhea Ripley? Just, okay, we get it. You're a fan of women's wrestling, Punk. You don't have to keep, like, just going out of your way to do that. Rollins comes to the ring, takes off his stupid glasses, and reveals a nice little black eye. Punk laughs at him. Basically, Rollins is in the ring now because he said he would be, whether he'd win or lose last week or the week before. Rollins reckons showing up when he said he would after getting his ass kicked makes him the man of his word. And if he wasn't a man of his word, he'd just be CM Punk. And Punk's like, well, I'd still be the winner though, right? Rollins didn't really have anything to say to that. But he says he lost a lot. But the last week's loss was the worst of his career. He's never been more disappointed, especially for underestimating Punk and not getting the job done. So the only way to get redemption for losing on Netflix Raw is to take Punk's WrestleMania dreams away. Then Rollins declares for the Royal Rumble, says he's tossing Punk out and he's going to win instead of him. Punk talks shit about Rollins not being able to pin him, and he has to take the easy way to get a W. And then Drew McIntyre comes out. McIntyre says, just when I think you can't get any lower, it's selfish and self-serving. Punk says he's kicked McIntyre's ass too, and they can continue if he wants to come to the ring. McIntyre says, it ain't about you, Phil. I was talking to Rollins. Rollins is like, well, in that case, Punk's invitation becomes mine. Now, I've listened to what McIntyre had to say over and over again, at least 4 or 5 times. I have no idea what his fucking point was. Basically, what I gather is his little revenge tour against the B team of the OG Bloodline is over. Now he's pissed off at Rollins for holding his head held high after a loss. And yeah. So Punk eventually says, let's fight. Throws his mic down. Rollins is like, oh, you want to fight? Well, let's fight. He throws his mic down. McIntyre starts walking in the ring. He says, no, why would I do that? He says he too will be in the Royal Rumble. Rollins and Punk are left to make mean faces at each other because, God forbid, men fight each other. And later we find out Rollins went to Pierce to set up a match between him and McIntyre next week. And also got cunty with Sammy for helping Roman get his necklace back.
Yep. This Royal Rumble is definitely one that is of stackedness.
It should be.
Yeah, you got Punk, you got Roman Reigns. You got John Cena.
But can you explain to me what McIntyre's point was?
Um, he was upset at Rollins because he was worried about his match that he lost instead of focusing on the big problem, which is Roman Reigns, who got his, as McIntyre said, oofalafa back. And now he's going to win the Royal Rumble and, you know, take everything back. So McIntyre is also entering the Royal Rumble to make sure that Reigns doesn't win it.
Okay. I just know he gave up real quick after he lost to Jay. He seems to be targeting Rollins.
He didn't really talk too much about that.
I know.
I don't even think he mentioned it.
He didn't. Anyway, our walkers are Damian Priest, Finn Balor, and McTurd, the ugly NXT chick, Damage Control. Priest and Balor have a street fight later. Priest's Puerto Rican kendo stick was stupid. And then the ugly NXT chick and Dakota Kai are wrestling for one of the secondary titles.
The Intercontinental title.
And we get Chad Gable versus Penta. So I'll let tell me what you think about Penta and Chad Gable.
I mean, it was a good match, obviously, because Chad Gable was in there, and Penta is, I guess, a good wrestler. He's doing stuff that I don't remember him ever doing. So I don't know if it's just stuff he didn't do in NXT or in AEW, or because he wasn't much of a high flyer. He was more of a impact move, like breaking people's arms and doing package pile drivers.
I don't remember a whole lot of high flying moves from him. He did the dive.
Yeah, he did the dive. He did he tried to do the little the rope thing. I don't know. It was a different style, but again, he was, when he was in AEW, he was mostly tag team wrestler. So maybe it's just what he does as single. Yeah, I didn't have any complaints about the match whatsoever. It was a good match, but the whole time I was thinking, well, yes, this is Chad Gable, one of the gatekeepers. So of course this is going to be a good match. But what happens when you get in there with Carlito? What happens when you get in there with R-Truth?
I think if he gets in with Carlito, it'll be a good match. Carlito's a veteran.
Yeah, but he's not,
and he's Puerto Rican. Like if anybody was
wrestler.
How do you know? We never see him wrestle.
That's true. So maybe that. But you know what I'm saying. What happens when he gets in there with someone who is more? What happens when he gets in there with the Miz?
I think the Miz could work with him. If he can work with Mysterio.
Okay. So you don't have the same concern.
Nah. No, my concern is when's he going to put on an LWO shirt?
Maybe soon.
As far as the match, I thought at first it looked really hokey and it looked like they were dancing instead of fighting. And it looked really cooperative. I think Chad Gable's the toughest guy on the roster because he took that Canadian Destroyer, which is a jumping, flying pile driver. Or jumping, flipping pile driver. Which Randy Orton took one pile driver. He's still out. Cody took the package pile driver, and at this point he was not cleared to wrestle.
Yep.
But Chad Gable, he recovered pretty quickly. Wrestled for another couple minutes.
And he sold it like death.
Yeah, but he sold it like death, but he was still able to get Penta into the ankle lock. So it wasn't that debilitating.
Right, yeah.
I like that Penta looks like an actual luchador instead of a generic Mexican bootleg Mysterio now.
Yeah. He does seem like. Also, right now, yeah, they're giving him the star treatment.
But
is that going to last?
That seems to be a theme just in general with wrestling, where everybody, when they debut, it's like this big thing, but then, 2 weeks later, they're in the back with Apollo Crews.
I think Mr. McMahon said that one time. Like, you debut them hot, and then, so like when they go to the mid card, they'll still have like at least some value.
Okay. So that's a Vinceism.
Yeah. But, they do that in a lot of wrestling.
Yeah.
I guess they like try to see if they connect with the crowd, and then if they don't connect as much as they should, then they get sent to the mid card.
Oh yeah, Penta did win with the Penta driver and spoke in tongues after the match. Which I think, I don't know, man. If you're doing this angle with where the pile driver is this devastating move all of a sudden, and then you got this guy making his debut and he does a flipping pile driver, that's not even the fucking finish of the match. That bugs me. I don't know why.
I did hear some people saying that, like,
yeah, I saw
in the finish.
That was basically a big debate. Because they're like, well, in AEW, they do it all the time. This ain't fucking AEW. Thank God.
Yeah.
We'll see, though. Well, I like his look. I like that he looks like a serious guy instead of just like a clown. Kind of reminds me of La Parka a little bit.
That's what I got. Especially when he came out doing his little walk thing.
Yeah.
It's like, this guy, just get a chair in his hand and he can be the chairman. And, for a big part of the match, I didn't know he was wearing like a mouthpiece. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with his teeth?
Oh, was it a mouthpiece?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, man, he's got some weird chompers there.
Yeah, because it was like red where his gums were. I'm like, what is going on here? He looks like. But yeah, it was a mouthpiece.
I don't know if I'm a fan of him talking though.
Well, that was probably the first time I've heard him talk, so I don't know if I can judge off of that.
I don't know. I just kind of would. I think I would have preferred him to be one of them silent, dangerous types. That's just me, though. So we have the Judgment Day backstage. Finn and Useless Liv Morgan are still doing the frenemy bullshit, and Dominic's going to be Useless Liv's cuck from now on. And Finn said, "Go get her."
Yep, Dominic's in the doghouse.
Some holes talking to the stupid women, or talking about the stupid women's IC tournament. Then she trotted out Sonya Deville's stupid team. They're big and bad again, apparently. Stark and Deville basically said that all three of them will wrestle the new women's Intercontinental Champion at some point. Looking forward to that.
All three of them will lose to the Intercontinental Champion.
Sheamus beat Kaiser, of course. And Kaiser can shut up now. I'm tired of him. And Sheamus and Breaker shoved each other after the match. Apparently, they get to wrestle again, too.
Yeah. Probably, I don't know if it's going to be Saturday night main event or if it's going to go all the way to Royal Rumble.
I can't remember if they said.
Yeah, I think they may have said. Was it Saturday Night's Main Event?
Don't get ahead of yourself, Sheamus. You're not pay-per-view material anymore.
Well, I mean, Saturday Night's Main Event is a big show, so
It's, if you say
they
so.
gotta have stuff on there.
I don't think any of these shows are big anymore.
That's fair.
A whole interviews McTurd and Carlito. I said fuck that and skipped it.
I don't remember what was said.
Cool. Miz is backstage. Cross comes out of Pierce's office, says the Wyatt sucks are on SmackDown now. He's upset. And Sammy interrupted. Cross somehow heard Sammy talking to Rollins and mocked him for it. I don't know how, because whatever. Then he said his little friends are all going to fall apart because they're going to be vying for the same title. Then Miz talks shit to Sammy. Says he won 2 more titles than Sammy ever will or some shit. And Sammy goes to Pierce to set up a match with Miz. And Cross may have broken away with Miz or something. I don't know. So 2 storylines just die.
No, he's still with the Miz. He just said he wasn't gonna have his back out there. Like, you got it.
Okay. Now I did like Cross's little Satan look. Too bad he sucks.
But yeah, we got news out of that segment that the 6 have been moved
To the B show.
Yeah.
they get to be in segments with Apollo Crews now.
Big guy over there.
Yep.
Practically in the main event now.
Yep. Obafemi was in the crowd. He's the new NXT champion. And he held up his title and he was like, "Witness! Witness!" He's awesome.
So, when the Royal Rumble comes, they usually have the NXT champion make an appearance in the Royal Rumble. And I just hope, with all my being, that when that happens, Jacob Fatu is standing in the ring waiting for him. And just let the aura of that face off happen.
Will be kind of like Strowman and Fatu.
Yeah.
So Gunther comes out. He's been the champion since SummerSlam. He's only been pinned twice on the main roster. He's the reigning king of the ring, the longest intercontinental champion of all time. So naturally, he would come out an hour and a half into a bullshit Raw after being completely left out of the Netflix premiere. And he says he was impressed by the hullabaloo over the Netflix debut, but the in-ring performances were shit. He wants a roster that can fulfill the lofty Netflix expectations, but he can't do it all by himself. Even though we know he could if Triple H wasn't such a, idiot.
Well, I don't know.
If I'm telling you, man, if they turned it into like the Fourth Reich or something, and just made him like a fucking just unstoppable machine that just beat the fuck out of everybody for, I don't know, it doesn't have to be like a Roman reign. That was nice. Doesn't have to be like Roman's title reign. But like a good year, maybe 6 months, just decimates everybody. And then, I don't know, maybe bring somebody up from the NXT. Like Ubafemi. Who's going to beat this guy? Nobody can. I will. For the Ukud tribe.
Just like, yeah. Basically, he should be Drago. Before.
Yeah.
Or even, and I have these Rocky references because there was a Rocky marathon on and I was watching it. Even Tommy Gunn, he was dominating when he
Was he was he the actor?
Who? Tommy Gunn?
Yeah. Or no. He was a street fighter.
Yeah, he was just some guy who Rocky took him under his wing. It's like, hey, you should be in this boxing thing, and he's just dominating people.
Yeah, if they just let him go off. But no, he gets bitched out by a priest who lost to a mediocre Puerto Rican rapper.
Yep.
So Gunther says everyone's fighting over personal drama. Who's head of the table? Who's the best in the world? Who cares? He holds up the title and he says, this is the ultimate prize. Then Jey Uso, the cartoon character, comes out. He's allegedly at the top of the card. And of course he is, with, such matches under his belt as
coming out with Travis Scott. That was one.
I said matches.
Don't worry about the bell. What are you worried about the bell for?
Because it's fucking wrestling. That's why I'm here. I'm not here to watch two grown men in their underwear talk about their feelings.
Well, that's why Jey Uso's there, and he's in pants. So there's that.
So Jay and Gunther are wrestling again at Saturday night's main event. And yeah, I'm not too sure about Gunther's chances, unfortunately.
I don't think they would do a title change yet.
I think
he's
they
walking
would.
into WrestleMania.
I think they would. To make Saturday night's main event, that much bigger or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know if we're going to do predictions for that show. But we shall see if we do. And then how that turns out if we do.
All right. Will we get a New Day interview? They're still pissed off at Rey Mysterio, and they're having a match next week or something.
Yep, they return the action.
And then Miz lost to Sami Zayn. To a blue fucking thunder bomb. Okay. Then Rhea Ripley came out, said some shit. Nia Jax interrupted. They started talking shit, or she started talking shit to Bayley for some reason. Then Bayley gets in the ring. Nia and Bayley start fighting. Then Nia and Ripley start fighting. Then Bayley and Ripley double team Nia. And it was a stupid fucking segment.
I guess, yeah, it doesn't make sense because Bayley was eyeing the title, but come see what happened on Saturday or on SmackDown. I don't see how that's a thing we should be talking about,
especially on Netflix.
Yeah, that too.
Like they made this whole big ass deal last week about how they're on Netflix. This big pageantry. They had The Rock. Which, by the way, where was he?
He'll be there.
He wasn't home.
What's it gonna be on some random ass week 2 of Netflix for?
Why not? He's home. He's never leaving, remember?
He didn't say that.
He's never leaving.
He said that years ago, and then he left again, as John Cena pointed out.
I just know that Rhea Ripley came out, and then this turned into a segment about Nia Jax and Bayley. And Rhea Ripley really didn't say shit.
She didn't.
Not that I would have paid attention anyway, but it just seems to me that this was a commercial for SmackDown.
Well, Nia Jax teased the transfer portal, so
Oh, yeah, that.
I guess.
That's just going to turn into the draft at this point.
Well, when are they gonna actually make moves? It seems like it's just like. So years ago, Mr. McMahon, when he was in charge, he had this wild card rule. Basically, it was just like anybody can show up on any show if they're under the wild card rule. Basically, that's what this is.
If they're important enough.
Yeah, or if they need to lose. We need someone to go over there and get beat. And that's basically what this is. Like, oh yeah, there's this transfer portal, but it apparently has no end date. And whenever it's convenient, we'll use it.
Which makes no fucking sense because they have them just jump shows anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Well, after that, Damian Priest beat Balor. And Balor can shut up too. They all can shut up.
Yeah, I did enjoy the match more than I thought I would, though. Because it was Priest and Balor. It's like, oh, here we go again. But
as I was fast forwarding through it, it looked like Balor was just getting his ass kicked.
Well, there was a point where, yeah, they did a Falcon arrow off of the balcony through a table. Balor gets put on a stretcher. And then Priest was like, no, it's not anything like this. And he rolls Balor down the ramp. And the match continues because, we thought the match was going to be over after that. But the match continued. So, it got me paying attention.
Okay. Well, at least you liked it. But that was Raw. What did you think of the second episode of or second Netflix Raw?
It's already back to just being Raw on a different channel.
Jesus Christ, they didn't even try.
Yeah. Oh, I guess we should point out it was a 2.5 hour Raw. So it was shorter. So I guess it proves that whole, it's going to be flexible for, if they need more time, they'll get more time. If they're not, then. So this was a shorter Raw than last week. Also to point out, because I don't think we did, Lyra Valkyria won the Intercontinental title. So she is the first inaugural champion. Crowd didn't really care.
Oh, yeah.
They're still trying to push her. I don't think the crowd really gives too much about her. I mean, who is she? Like, she's just there.
Yep. She was doing nothing but losing until they decided that they needed a second secondary women's title.
Yeah, there's that too. But for me, on my side, I need some kind of character. She has none. because she does this thing and the crowd, she gets the crowd to say whoop during her entrance. Like, show me that you can be a little bit entertaining.
I don't know. I
And
just know
then,
her
God
face is
forbid,
ugly.
oh, well, God forbid you put a mic in her hand. But congrats, sir.
Sure.
Dakota Kai, yet again, falls short.
Well, she's in the same boat. Like, what the fuck has she done?
Nothing, but she's been there so long. You
So,
one would think
like,
that she would
longevity
be rewarded.
longevity does not dictate a title reign. They should have done Zoe Stark and the EO
For the final.
Yes.
I don't know why Io was in it. And Kyrie's still out. So whatever Damage Control did to her, or I'm sorry, PFC did to her, they must have really roughed her up.
They slammed that crate under her hand.
Oh. Yeah, I don't remember that.
Well, that was Raw. Let's move on to SmackDown, which wasn't too much better, if I'm being honest. We're in San Diego, California, and can we just get out of this shithole state, please? Tired of being in California. And for some reason, Wade Barrett and Joe Testicles have a conversation on the mic whilst heading to the ring. That's what I want, more TV time for non-competitors.
That's fair.
And our walkers are Tiffany Stratton and Bayley. Bayley won the Fatal 4-Way last week, which I didn't watch. And she earned yet another title shot, which I won't watch either. And Jimmy Uso, we have Carmelo Hayes. And after saying he'll fight Sammy and Braun Strowman at the same time a couple weeks ago, and challenging Jimmy last week when Jimmy didn't have two friends with him, they're finally locking up tonight. Remember, Carmelo Hayes is the good guy here. I need to stress that.
Yeah.
And then Rey Mysterio Jr. opens the show, which means it is going to be a long fucking night if Rey Mysterio Jr. is our headliner. Sorry, Rey. No disrespect, but I'm tired of you. So he declares for the Royal Rumble, says it's going to be just like 2006 when he profited from the death of Eddie Guerrero by getting handed a Royal Rumble victory and a title the following WrestleMania. And sure enough, Mysterio goes back to the well and invokes Eddie's name. And Kevin Owens interrupts for some reason, like you'd think it'd be New Day or someone who actually has an issue with Mysterio. But that would make narrative sense, I guess. So Owens, he still has the Winged Eagle belt. Says he's sorry for interrupting. Heard Rey was going to be in the Royal Rumble. Says there's nobody he respects more than Rey Mysterio Jr. Owens says he's accomplished a lot of kid dreams. Main evented with Stone Cold. Won the tag titles with his best friend. Now he gets to stand in the entranceway in San Diego, California with a souvenir wing title belt as the true WWE champion somehow. But the only thing left for Owens to accomplish now is to step into the ring with the legendary Rey Mysterio Jr. So Owens says he's there to tell him face to face that he hopes Rey wins. The Royal Rumble, that is. And he's ready for Mysterio with everything he has. But Mysterio can win the Royal Rumble. Owens believes in him. Owens just wants Rey to promise him that when he wins the Royal Rumble, he'll choose Owens as the champion to face. Rey says, well, I'm all about challenges and competition, but you ain't the champion, Kevin. Cody is. And then Owens starts screaming and shoving the winged eagle belt in Ray's face. Accuses Ray of having bleach blonde hair under his mask. And Ray says Owens is acting like Dominic. Well, this pisses Owens off. So he tries to nail Ray with the title belt. Ray ducks, starts whipping Owens, sets him up for the 619. Owens runs away, yelling at Ray from the entrance ramp. So later, Ray asks Aldis for a match with Owens, which Aldis accepted. Cody barged in. Turns out he was doing a physical or something. Ray wants Cody to rest while he handles Owens. It appears Cody forgot it was on site. Or at least that's what he said when it comes to Kevin Owens.
It was on site still.
Kevin Owens was allowed to do a whole little promo with Rey Mysterio, and Cody did not whoop his ass. It's on site.
Well, he was getting cleared.
He needs to stop it. He needs to push him away. No. It's on site. I'm a man of my word. So after Ray leaves, Cody reveals that he's fully cleared. Aldis wants him to sign a contract. Cody won't sign until Kevin Owens does. And Aldis looks worried. So later, Aldis finds Owens, tries to get him to sign the contract. Owens won't sign until Cody signs. Dun, dun, dun. There's apparently an addendum to the contract as well, which they didn't reveal.
Yeah, that's your cliffhanger.
We have a SmackDown quickfire. If there's anything you want to add, I'll give you time. So we have DEI backstage. I skipped it. Then they beat Nia Jax and the Purple Bitch. Then we had Bayley doing an empty stadium interview. Didn't give a shit. We have Mia Yim, some other bitch, Piggy Niven, and Chelsea backstage. I think the other bitch and Piggy are having a match later. End of the quickfire.
Yeah, nothing really came out of any of that.
You have Jimmy Uso versus Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes came out talking shit. Says Jimmy's living in the shadow of Jay, who's living in the shadow of Roman. And he's like, now you're going to find out what I don't miss. I got to say, he's starting to grow on me.
I was just thinking that too. Like, he is starting to grow on me. Like, telling Jim, what did he tell him? Basically, he's just a tag team wrestler. But, dang it. I forgot what exactly he told him.
As far as the match, it was pretty basic. Lots of near falls from Carmelo's offense, at least. Somehow Jimmy was able to survive a code breaker after getting caught midair, trying to do a splash. So Jimmy's about to win after hitting a spear. He's going for another splash. And Jacob Fatu shows up on the apron. And then Tama Tonga shows up behind Jimmy, shoves him off the ropes. Fatu and Tonga just proceed to whoop Jimmy's ass. Carmelo tries to buddy up with Fatu, and then he gets annihilated. He's just like, yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, he thought he was in.
Jimmy gets hit with the Umaga ass charge a couple times, which, boy, does that move not mean anything anymore.
No, but it was funny that you can hear Tonga saying, do the ass thing. Or I don't even think he said thing. He's like, do the ass one more time.
There you go. So now I feel better about calling the Umaga ass thing.
Yeah.
Well, then Solo returned. Crowd boos over Solo because that's a fucking thing still. And then he just leaves. So at least he shut up.
He sure did.
So my question is, how many times are we going to see someone come back after something happens and then the crowd boos over them and then they leave? Because all this is going to accomplish now is Solo is going to get the Dominic treatment, and it's fucking annoying.
Yeah, that's just their thing, I guess. That's the new thing. It's like, yeah, if you're booing, boo over him.
Yeah, I don't know that. I just don't get how that's the blueprint to being a top heel now. Like, there's booing, and then there's just not letting them speak, and like taking over the show with some bullshit. And when you have when you have 3 people doing that gimmick, it just gets old. Because you got the New Day, they're getting booed over. Dominic still gets it. And now you're going to have Solo. He's going to get booed over. That's all it is. Like, next time he comes, they're just going to boo over him.
Yeah. I mean, they did it to Kevin Owens, too, but he didn't let him. When he was talking to Ray.
Yeah.
They were doing it to him, too, but he just kept going. That's what you need to do. Like, you're playing into it because you think it's getting you, oh, well, this is good heat for me.
Well, after Solo leaves, that leaves Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga just kind of looking at each other and not knowing what happens next. But thankfully, Fatu grabs the stick. This is what it comes to, huh? This is it? I'm tired of the disrespect. I'm tired of the hate. Oh, Lord. You know I'm tired of the envy. But check this out. Envy me all you want. Even on my bad day. Y'all still can't touch me. I give a damn if you cheer us. I give a damn if you booze us. But one thing, shut the hell up. One thing I will not let you do is try to act like I ain't never got mine. What, you thought I was crazy? Huh? What, you thought I was off the hinges? Huh? What, you thought I was losing it? Huh? The crazy thing about this situation is I'm just getting started. Goosebumps. So LA
Knight
to
see. Well, I was just saying, it's nice to see that he's growing into a bigger and bigger deal.
He was a big deal the second he walked in.
Although his promo didn't. See, that's what I'm saying. You know, like, your promo doesn't really have to make sense.
Yeah, it didn't make any lick of sense. Because I don't know what the hell he was talking about getting his, and like, who the hell said he didn't get his, and what is his?
Yeah, and he's talking about, even on my worst day, y'all can't touch me. Well, they're not wrestlers. What are you even talking? And then the whole, I give a damn if you boo me. You mean I don't give a damn? But that's all okay because how he said it, you believe every word of it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, yes, sir.
Yeah.
So LA Knight interrupted, got his ass whooped. Then Braun Strowman came out for some reason. He has a big stare down with Fatu. Then Tama Tonga drug him out of the ring, obviously sparing Strowman a fate worse than death.
Yep. And it's already been made official. They will be bumping meat on Saturday night's main event.
Yes, they will be.
And that's the one I'm looking most forward to. Like, forget about all your wrestling matches. This is just going in there. This is going to be just a fight. There ain't going to be no... Oh, I'm sure there'll be some suplexes and stuff, but these are just 2 big men fighting. That's what we need to see.
If it's anything less than a squash match, I will be disappointed.
No.
Because we had a fight. No, we had a fight between Strowman and Bronson Reed. Fatu is supposed to be an elevation higher than Bronson Reed. Fatu is the Samoan werewolf. Fatu's the guy that Shouldn't even be in wrestling. He's so dangerous.
Well,
and this is like his second singles match, second or third. So he needs to have like a big fucking statement.
well, the statement's going to be winning, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be a squash.
I don't think so either, but it needs to be. What I don't want is a 20-minute competitive back and forth fucking match with lots of NXT faces.
That's what I'm saying. You ain't gonna get that. You ain't gonna get too much. This ain't gonna be one of your work rate matches. This is gonna be haymakers thrown. I imagine it's gonna be SmackDown. Here comes the pain, where you preload the finishers, and you're just throwing finishers at each other. Maybe not like actual finishers, but just like power moves.
Whatever happened to Almas?
I don't know if he's fired or not, but he's at some Japanese promotion. He's actually a tag team champion over there too.
Huh.
But I don't know where his WWE status is.
Well, the evil Mexicans are backstage. Escobar lost his beard. I guess the other ones have a match or something. And so are they good Mexicans now? The good evil Mexicans?
Yes. I guess. I mean, not officially, but since Pretty Deadly exposed them or lied about them, they've been baby faces.
Okay. Then the Motor City Machine Guns beat the evil Mexicans. And Pretty Gay tried to help the evil Mexicans, but they suck. Then the Guns won anyway. Later, DIY played good cop, bad cop with Pretty Gay. They weren't happy about the Guns winning. And then Apollo Crews made an appearance. Pretty Gay blew him off, and then Gargano beat his ass. So I'm sure they'll have a singles match.
Yay. Apollo Crews getting TV time.
Piggy never won her match.
Which I was actually surprised with. That she won, because, she never wins.
There was a Tiffany Stratton interview. She said the same shit she said last week. And she's going to beat Bayley.
Yep. There was one thing, though. It was like a little thing, and I think it might have even been a slip. But I kind of liked it. So Joe Tessitore, they put the graphic up, and he's like, this is your... Tiffany Stratton versus Bayley. He said, like, this is your... this title fight is your main event for the night. And him calling it a title fight just made it seem like a bigger deal than, I don't know. It sounded more UFC-ish than wrestling-ish. But I liked it.
What do they normally call it?
Just your championship match or...
Okay. So the fact that they called it a fight.
Yeah, your title fight.
Distinction. Okay. I don't know. Still girls.
Yeah. It's little things. I mean, I'd be lying to you if I said I watched it. But...
I mean, it's not... I mean, we're not watching Amanda Nunes or anything.
I don't know. Even in the UFC, it's like... I watch UFC for the car crash knockouts, like the guy who hit that jumping knee, like at the beginning of the match, because the guy was trying to shoot the half, and he just caught him right in the side of the head with the knee, put him to sleep in like 2 seconds.
I saw this is kind of related and not related. I saw a post that had Ronda Rousey, John Jones, Conor McGregor, and Habib Nurmagomedov, and it's like, if you can erase one of these from history, which would it be? There was a lot for Khabib. Like, he's boring. And I'm like,
yeah, no one wants to watch.
how the fuck can you say that the guy that trained wrestling bears is boring?
Because he gets you on the ground, and then it's
That's
pretty
it.
much
That's
game,
it.
set, match. Like, once you get on the ground, you're done.
Yep. Once he gets a hold of you, it's over. That's the thing. You gotta.
Yeah, people want to see, like.
And that Conor match was great.
Striking.
He kept talking shit. He's like, "Dog your shit now. Dog your shit now." And he talked shit to the corner. A brawl ensued. How the fucking no way. That was one of the greatest UFC rivalries too.
Yeah. There was a good one with Chael Sonnen. I mean, he got his ass beat, of course, but
Chael and Khabib.
I don't remember who it was with. Might have been McGregor.
I don't know. I know he had was it Vitor Belfort or something?
Who?
Chael Sonnen.
Oh, I don't know. I don't. I don't watch him too much.
It was on the Tough Enough, and they were talking in the little training area. He's like, "I can't let you get close." And he pushed him away and did a karate stance. And this guy's Brazilian. It looks like he's like on all sorts of medications that make you crazy. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna beat your ass." Good shit.
Yeah.
So Rey Mysterio versus Kevin Owens, pretty good match. I liked the fat guy dance Owens did just before hitting the frog splash on Rey. I know it's supposed to be mocking Eddie, but I saw it differently, of course. Love how Eddie's mentioned in every single fucking Rey Mysterio match. Like, I want Joe Testicles to list off his favorite fucking Eddie Guerrero moments.
Well, he's supposed to be a student of the game. I think he could.
I bet he can read off moments. I bet he doesn't know a single fucking Eddie Guerrero match.
I think he could.
Okay. Ray kicked out of a stunner, which, again, why have finishing moves, especially if they're not going to work on a TV match. And Owens ended up winning with a pop-up powerbomb, one of my favorites, especially from Owens. I like when he just collapses into the pin.
Mm-hmm.
After the match, Owens goes in to shake Ray's hand, but then he tries to package power drive Ray. Then comes Cody. They have a brawl for the umpteenth time. Later, Aldis is pissed at Cody, says he's run out of patience with both of them. They can't follow simple instructions or even sign a stupid contract. Therefore, Aldis has no choice but to relinquish Cody and Owens of their titles. Excuse me. Therefore, Aldis has no choice but to relinquish Cody and Owens of their titles to be suspended above the ring until the Royal Rumble. Then, they will both sign the fucking contract next week. And since they don't trust Aldis, Shawn Michaels will be moderating. And Aldis wasn't too pissed off to list all of Michaels' nicknames.
Of course. And this will happen at Saturday night's main event. Just to throw that in there.
And we learned that, Jacob Fatu and Braun Strowman is set for Saturday night's main event. LA Knight's going to beat Tama Tonga next week. And then the Machine Guns face Pretty Gay. I think next week as well.
3 hours. SmackDowns. I think that's it. Yeah, I don't remember anything else.
And then Tiffany Stratton beat Bailey.
Clean. So it does seem like Tiffany Stratton's getting the push treatment. But allegedly it's all for Charlotte Flair just to come back and take her title.
That makes sense.
Yeah, now I saw it on Twitter, X, if you will, but I didn't see it during the show. So maybe it happened during like one of the commercials or something. But there was this Charlotte Flair vignette, so I guess she's close to returning.
Yeah, she has a couple of those. I just think it makes sense to feed the young up and comer to the established veteran.
Yeah, absolutely. Gotta get Charlotte her next title reign. Now, that's the idea. But what if she beats Charlotte Flair? Maybe they're swerving us. It's like, oh, Charlotte Flair is coming back. You know what that means? Number 16. By the way, John Cena's going to get 17. So then Charlotte Flair won't even be the first to get 17. So now does she really need it? Or is she going to get 18? Is someone ever going to get to 20? That'd just be a lot. It's like one title reign a year.
Just about, yeah.
But I don't know. It's like maybe they're going to bring Charlotte Flair back, and then she's actually going to lose and shock the world and put Tiffany Stratton over, actually. And then she'll move to Monday Night Raw and win that title.
I don't know. I don't see that happening. She's a Flair.
She is a Flair.
But that was SmackDown. Oh, man.
So, a quick recap of SmackDown, if you're going to do a quick recap, is Jacob Fatu cut a promo and then had a stare down with
Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman. That's probably all you needed to. That was the only takeaway from the show.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, moving on. With the Great American Bash. Brought to us from WCW. It's 1998. Starts off with a video with Stars and Stripes playing faintly. Then Voodoo Child kind of sort of cuts in. Sounded like it was remixed by House of Pain or something. And Hollywood Hogan, Bret Hart, and Goldberg were there. Savage and Piper appear, and they still appear to be pissed off at each other. Sting appears to be wearing red face paint, which sounds like he's an official Wolfpack member. And Eddie and Chavo were there as well, which I was surprised that they even got like any part of that little video. It's usually the main eventers. It looks like they're still having issues. And Piper, Savage, Bret, and Hogan are last seen. And I guess that's what we're supposed to be invested in tonight. And we were in Baltimore, Maryland. Shivani, Heenan, and TNA are on commentary. And sure enough, Hogan and Hart versus Savage and Piper are the first thing on their minds. Shivani says Hart and Hogan are working together, ironically, but Savage and Piper can't get on the same page. Heenan says it's all because of that dastardly Bret Hart. Hart has been putting out propaganda and lies in an effort to drive a wedge between Savage and Piper, and it seems to have worked. Then TNA says that after this mega tag team match, Piper and Savage are going to have a one-on-one match immediately after their tag match. You see Heenan just shake his head over that stupidity. Like, what the fuck?
I didn't, but that was one, I actually thought this was happening 3 times. I
What do you
was
mean?
the whole they're gonna face each other again. I was like, so basically, this show is gonna be 3 built around, because I thought they were going to do it for the Giant and Sting too.
Oh, I see.
I didn't quite get what the hell they were saying.
Gotcha.
Because like, oh yeah, they're gonna face each other, and then they're gonna pick their tag team partner. It's like, okay, so that's happening. Sting, this, and then I also thought, because I didn't quite get it, I thought they were saying that uh, whoever won the tag team match between Hogan and Hart and Macho Man and Randy and Piper, whoever won the tag team match, then would go on to face each other one-on-one afterwards. So I wasn't, and then they also mentioned, for the United States or the TV title too.
Well, Heenan said that Bret Hart was putting out a wedge between Piper and Savage, and then TNA said that Savage and Piper are gonna have a one-on-one match immediately after their tag match. I don't know if he specifically said Savage and Piper, but it was right after Heenan said that there's a wedge between them.
Yeah, I guess that's just how I heard it. It's like, oh, whoever wins the tag team match is gonna. Maybe I was confusing it with what the Giant and Sting had going on.
That's fair. Well, Shivani wants to talk about Sting and Giant, but not without getting Mean Gene's input. And Gene lays it all out. Sting and Giant defeated the Outsiders for the tag titles. Then they went to separate factions. Giant with NWO Hollywood. Sting is now indeed with the Wolfpack. Tonight they face off, and one man will be half of the WCW NWO Tag Champions. So WCW Savior joined forces with one of the men that caused him to hide in the shadows in the first place. Which means over a year of story building, with Sting just dead in a few short months. Gene concludes by saying it's going to be a hell of an evening, and he's glad to be part of it. And I had no idea why they specifically needed Gene to say all that, but at least he wasn't selling anything.
Yeah, didn't pimp the hotline.
Shivani reveals that Giant says when he beats Sting, his new tag team partner will be the Disciple. So it's like we know who's not winning before the bell even rings.
Yeah. So thank you for giving us the ending.
Yeah. Sting didn't say who's going to pick, but it'll probably be Virgil or something now that this shit's going on. Like, oh, you want the Disciple? Virgil, get over here. Then they talk about a best of 7 series between Booker T and Benoit. Apparently they wrestled the Thursday night prior. Benoit fucked Booker's knee up something fierce. So Booker's limping into the match. And therefore Heenan picks Benoit to win. TNA says whoever wins the match will go on to face Fit Finlay for the TV title later. So the last pay-per-view, they had 2 mask gimmicks. Now it's secondary match gimmicks.
Yeah.
Then they play the ending of the Thursday match between Benoit and Booker. Bret Hart comes out and hits Booker with a chair for some reason, trying to get Benoit to win. I guess they were trying to recruit Benoit. We would later find out. And Benoit, who at least was on pay-per-view, seems to be a heel, stops the ref from counting Booker out, and then the ref disqualifies Benoit. So it turns out that the match was the end of the best of 7 series, seemingly, and Booker's shown, as the winner. He's with Stevie Ray. Stevie Ray's back. And he says he respects Benoit more than any man, but he doesn't want to win like that. So he wants to run that match back. And J.J. Dillon's also there. Says the match will happen at the Great American Bash. And Stevie Ray yelled at Dillon, but they cut it off.
And I'll tell you, I was surprised with the ending here too.
Okay. Well, that brings us to Chris Benoit versus Booker T. Determines the #1 contender for the WCW TV title. Starts off with a lot of back and forth, the feeling out process, as they call it. Looks like Booker starts to build a head of steam. Then Benoit catches Booker with a dragon screw leg whip on the bad leg and completely changes the momentum of the match. Nice shot of sweat of flying off Booker T when Benoit chopped him in the corner. They even commented on it. Booker starts to fight back, build a head of steam, hits a leapfrog. Benoit just chops him down. And I don't know if anyone ever hit a better suplex than Benoit. Like maybe Dynamite Kid, especially a snap suplex. Just a thing of beauty from him. Always looks intense. And Benoit just kicks Booker's ass. Booker has a couple hope spots, but Benoit's quick to shut him down. Finally, Booker catches Benoit with a power slam, slowly gets up, starts to climb the ropes. Benoit's on his feet before Booker even reaches the middle rope. So Booker goes for his trademark no-look crossbody. And of course, Benoit steps out of the way and simply watches Booker's stupid ass crash to the mat. And Benoit goes back to the kicking Booker's ass. After about the 100th reverse chin lock, power-up spot, Booker hits Benoit with an enziguri, then a spine buster, and he pancakes Benoit. So he goes to the top rope again when Benoit's clearly recovering. And then Benoit crotches Booker on the top rope. He hits a superplex. We get a nice visual of both men writhing in pain. Benoit goes to his rolling German suplexes. Booker is able to fight out of the third one, and Benoit ultimately catches him with a dragon suplex for a very near fall. Which it bugs me that they always reverse the third German suplex. Like you just took 2 German suplexes in a row.
That's the trophy or whatever.
So there's a funny spot where Benoit shoots Booker in the corner. Booker jumps up and does his little twisting leg thing that he turns into a sudden set flip, but no one was home. And Benoit's just there, and he takes him out with a chop. Benoit hits a diving headbutt, but the dumb fuck is too hurt to make the cover. Eventually he does, but Booker immediately kicks out. Not even like a 1 count because he took so long to cover. Maybe you should think of a new move. I don't understand the moves. Like him and Savage, they have these moves that just do more damage to them than their opponent. They never fucking win with it.
What's Savage's?
He does that elbow drop and he always hurts his knee. Oh, he hurt his knee. Oh, he can't make the cover. Oh, they kicked out.
It's because he's been... Yeah. I don't know.
So Benoit tries to shoot Booker in the corner again. Booker reverses it, catches Benoit with a Harlem sidekick in the back of the head, and then another one on the rebound. He totally missed the one on the back of the head. Booker hits another Harlem sidekick. Then a missile drop kick. 1, 2, 3. I thought Finlay was going to attack Booker after the match with a shillelagh. But we're not in WWE. I expect a Hornswoggle to come out from under the mat, like Undertaker, and pull Booker into the hole. Like, the little bastard got him.
Pull them to the depth of hell.
Yeah.
Well, we'll say I did enjoy this match.
I love this match.
But yeah, I was confused. I thought Benoit was going to win because that little thing that they did beforehand where, Benoit got himself disqualified because he wanted to win the right way. I thought his redemption arc was going to be to actually win.
Nope.
But no.
You lost anyway.
Yeah. But I guess we're one step closer to a Benoit versus Bret Hart match. Now, I don't know if it happens or not, but seems like they're working together, and they said something about Brett's trying to recruit him, so they are working together. So maybe there will be a match.
Let's find out. It's thinking. Something went wrong. I broke it. They had a Monday Nitro match.
No. Oh, they had a match in
WCW Mayhem, 1999.
Yeah, 1999. Man, that's a whole year later.
Well, we're halfway through 98.
Yeah, but that's a lot of. Now, it's also surprising that Hart is still there in 99.
Yeah. When does Owen die?
I don't know. In 99.
Okay. Man, I hope it's. This is going to sound fucked up, but I hope it's after the Benoit match.
We shall see.
Yeah, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 6 more pay-per-views for 98. And then WCW pay-per-views, 99. Mayhem, Jesus Christ. Just before Starrcade. So we got a while. But something to look forward to.
Yes, it's going to happen, so that's good.
So we go to the internet location with Chavo Guerrero Jr. He's completely bought into Uncle Eddie's philosophy. Says he was stupid and needs a beating. Tony the Tiger says, you know Eddie doesn't want to fight you, right? Chavo says, oh, he wants to fight. He's a Guerrero. We love to fight. He's just playing. Chavo says he wants to fight Eddie just as much as Eddie wants to fight him, I guess. Then we have Saturn versus Canyon. I guess Saturn's representing the flock still, despite saying he's only looking out for himself and going his own way from here on out. The last pay-per-view. I don't know. Make it make sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So Canyon was supposed to fight Raven. Raven said he can't fight, so Saturn's fighting instead. And Saturn was not pulling off the bandana look. Just throwing that out there. He has I don't know. His head's too weird.
That's fair.
Then we hear Mortis's music, and out comes Canyon, still dressed as fucking Mortis. Then it cuts to the ring, and the real Canyon attacks Saturn from behind, which I loved that. Because what I thought was going to happen is he was going to take off the Mortis stuff. Like, I'm Canyon from here on out. This is my rebirth. But nope. He bamboozled him.
It was just a ploy.
So Canyon just whips Saturn's ass at first. He hits a modified electric chair. And they say the flock comes out, but it's just Kidman and Lodi, the smallest of members. Canyon easily takes him out, or he takes Kidman out. Lodi's just there with a goddamn sign. Saturn gets some karate kicks in. Then Canyon hits Saturn with a Fame Master from the top rope. Then Horace and Riggs appear. A real murderer's row of Raven's been able to collect. Kidman, Riggs, and Horace end up pulling Canyon out of the ring and jumping him. Saturn takes everyone out with a suicide dive, which that was probably the best scenario of a crowd just waiting to catch somebody I've seen, because it turned into them jumping. I mean, You can tell it kind of got hokey when the camera switched. Like you can tell that what they were doing, but it was a good setup, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't just randomly standing in a cluster, just waiting.
While the guy's posing and getting ready.
Yeah. So Nick Patrick tells the flock to leave, so they just leave. Horace said, "We belong out here," which I think is debatable, especially him. And Lodi's still holding up a fucking sign.
Some of his signs are pretty funny.
Yeah, but can you think of anybody more useless than Lodi?
No, yeah, he's pretty useless, but yeah, some of his signs are funny. Does he ever even wrestle, or is he just a sign guy?
I think he, if I'm not mistaken, I think he turns into Kiwi or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think so.
I might be wrong about that. It's Hollywood Blondes.
I'm picturing someone
He
with like, maybe it's still him, but I think I'm picturing someone with like short blonde hair with like a choker necklace, kind of like a woman's. I don't know.
Well, he
had a woman
teams
ballet.
He teams with Lenny Lane as the West Hollywood Blondes, which is a gay Californian duo with pink trunks and flamboyant haircuts.
Oh boy.
Who are later revealed to be brothers. Which, okay. It was highly controversial because of their depiction of homosexuality. Which is interesting because that's all there is today. Who the fuck was Kiwi then? Yeah, it doesn't matter. So back to the match. It's all Saturn now. He's basically Canyon basically hits a superplex from Saturn basically hits a superplex from the apron, from the the middle ropes. Looked good. There's a lot of good moves in this match. I think this was the match of to a point, this was the match of the night.
I would still probably favor Booker T. Benoit.
Fair. I think because I wasn't expecting. Well, yeah, you might be right. I wasn't expecting much out of the match itself.
Yeah.
So Saturn hits a reverse drop toe hold and then turns it into an ankle lock, which was really a fucking cool move. Then he hits a springboard clothesline from the corner while Canyon's crouched on the ropes and they both tumble to the floor. Nick Patrick lets Saturn do a springboard stuff off the chair. He hits a beautiful drop kick and a double springboard moonsault from the top rope, which they were awesome moves, but I don't know how necessary the springboards were. Like in terms of like a combat aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like how does the springboard make the drop kick more effective? You're still jumping up in the air and kicking him.
I don't know. You know how I am about springboard moves.
Canyon catches Saturn midair with a Northern Lights suplex. Again, fucking awesome moves galore. And they start getting tired. So you see a lot of sloppy flips and half-assed moves, but it works because it looks like they're both struggling in a combat situation. Canyon ends up hitting Saturn with a reverse F5. And then he hits some weird torture rack diamond cutter combo. And Canyon starts gesturing with his hands like it's the heartbeat lines. You know, the do, and then he flat lines. So stupid. Then he goes for a flatliner, which appears to be a reverse STO. Saturn reverses it. Then commentary argues what a fucking flatliner actually is, because they're like, oh no, it's a Samoan drop. Oh, no, that's the setup to the flatliner. It's weird. And Saturn goes for a Death Valley driver. Canyon fights out. Saturn hits him with a super kick anyway. Instead of going for a pin, Saturn picks Canyon up for a superplex for some reason. And Saturn ends up getting crotched on the ropes. Canyon gets crotched on the ropes too. They both tumble to the floor. Then Saturn, which all Saturn had to do was pin the guy. He hit him with a super kick. All he had to do was go for the pin. But instead, he picks him up, goes for a superplex. They both tumble to the fucking floor. And then some mortises appear. And then they toss Saturn and Canyon back into the ring. Then the mortises look at each other. They start circling. And then they fight each other. Then they fight outside the ring. And then Canyon hits Saturn with the reverse STO 1, 2, 3. Then Canyon gets DDT'd on the floor by one of the mortises. And it turns out to be Raven. And then Raven grabs a microphone, turns to Saturn, says, I give you one simple assignment. All you had to do was beat Canyon. And what do? You lose. What about me? What about Raven? You can't do anything right, can you? You never could. That last line pisses Saturn off, and he starts to bow up to Raven. Raven says, now look, it's only one loss. Don't worry about it. It's no big deal. The flock comes out, and the Raven says, you know what? I'm sick of you, Saturn. You want a piece of me, Saturn? So then Saturn proceeds to strangle Raven, and then the flock jumps Saturn. Raven leaves with Horus, and Saturn then kicks the flock's ass all by himself. What I want to know is, what happened to the second Mortis?
And who was the second Mortis?
And who was the
They
second?
never revealed who that was. I was like, I could tell that one had like makeup over his tattoos, because you could faintly see the tattoos. I guess, because he's sweating. I'm like, okay, well, that one has tattoos. And
You're more observant than I am, because I didn't catch that.
Yeah, I caught that. And then the other one, no idea who that was. Maybe it was Glacier. I'm like, who's that one? Never revealed.
And then Canyon just disappeared.
So did he. Oh, well, Saturn's getting jumped here.
Yeah.
And he's nowhere to be found.
And these mortises are fighting.
Yeah.
Which I think the reverse STO is a weak finisher compared to all the other shit Canyon was hitting. Like, how are you going to hit a reverse F5 and then win with an STO?
He was the innovator of offense.
Yeah,
he did something else during the match. So I was like, well, he probably was the first one to do that too. Or he, mainstreamed it. I forgot what it was, though.
He was really good.
Yeah, I always liked him. Just because of that innovator of offense thing. Well, no, that's someone from ECW. But, he was the innovator of... He always did something different during his matches. I always liked it.
He was unique, yeah.
Yeah.
So then we show Malenko forfeiting his title. It says if the only way he can get his hands on Jericho is by forfeiting the Cruiserweight title, then done deal. He trusts his abilities. Jericho comes out later to get his title from J.J. Dillon, who says Jericho's first active champion is defending his belt against Malenko, and the title is vacated until then. Then Jericho started whining.
Yep, this is Crybaby Jericho.
Oh, yeah.
He even had the influx, but I want it now.
Yeah.
Like,
Chris Jericho versus Dean Malenko for the vacant WCW Cruiserweight title. And Malenko just kicked Jericho's ass. Then Jericho lured Malenko with a baseball slide in the corner. Malenko missed the slide and then started selling his head on the floor for some reason. It's weird. Jericho misses a lion salt. Malenko nails him with a face buster from the top rope. Then Malenko sets Jericho up for the top rope gut buster. Jericho fights out, hits a top rope Frankensteiner. He goes for a power bomb. Malenko fights out of that, turns it into a pin. Jericho turns the pin into a lion tamer, but Malenko goes to the ropes for a huge pop. Jericho goes for another lion tamer. Malenko reverses it into a Texas cloverleaf, but Jericho goes to the ropes too. Then he hits a double underhook backbreaker and starts pummeling Malenko. Then Jericho tells Malenko he's nothing, just like his dead father. Well, Malenko didn't like that very much. So he throws Jericho out of the ring, delivers two of the worst chair shots I've ever seen in my life. Like Nia Jax level chair shots. And then Malenko awkwardly beats up Jericho to the entrance ramp. He throws Jericho into a pile of shit before dragging him to the back. They go out to the parking lot, then a sidewalk. Malenko slams Jericho into a mailbox, and then Doug Dillinger restrains Malenko at this point. Jericho ends up running across the street and into another building. And they cut to an awkward shot of the ring. Jericho's declared the winner as a result of disqualification. And before we can think too much about this and the impacts of the Cruiserweight title, we go back to the internet location.
Yep. And they're like, we'll find out more about that on Nitro.
Yeah.
Because got to keep you coming back.
I don't know about this match.
Yeah. They've had better matches, we'll just say, yeah.
Yeah. Malenko just got the title last pay-per-view. I don't understand why he's still chasing Jericho. I guess if I watch the Nitros, it makes sense.
Yeah, he's got to get revenge on him for whatever happened on Nitro.
Right. Well, at the internet location, Eddie's there. He's apparently scared of the nutcase he created in Chavo. Says grandma don't want them to fight. Basically spends the whole time pleading with his nephew. Then we get a Juventud Guerrero vignette. He's just walking around a Mexican villa, trying to look pretty. Then he sits for a bit. Then he runs up some stairs. If I didn't see Hornswoggle rap before this stuff, then I would be pissed.
I mean, it wasn't really... It was weird, but he didn't really do anything.
Exactly. He's just walking around some shit. He opened a gate, stared at himself through... stared at his reflection on some water, sat on some stairs, then he ran up the stairs. What was the point?
Nothing.
Exactly.
It's the building for what was about to come.
Oh, God. Might as well get to it. Juventud Guerrero versus Reese. I have no idea who sat down and said, you know what would be really great to have on pay-per-view? Juventud Guerrero versus Reese. That'll get the asses in seats. Reese offends me. The 12-year-old kid hair caked in semen, the fake beard, the beer gut, having all that damn size and no muscular tone whatsoever, the fucking sneakers, the fact that he wore the goddamn shirt around his waist when he wrestled, which to me, it looked like he was wearing an apron because he looked like a fucking dishwasher that got lost on his way to cleaning the arena shitters. Fuck Reese. Starts off with You're saying something?
Oh, I just said that's fair.
Yeah. Starts with Huey trying to slug it out with Reese. Reese just tosses him. Huey goes to the floor, to try to bait Reese for falling into a suicide dive trap. Reese catches Hoovy when he catches Hoovy and posts him when Hoovy attempted the dive. Hoovy goes for Reese's legs. When he tries to get back in the ring, Reese just shoves him off. Reese does the thing where he puts his hand on Hoovy's head and keeps him at arm's length, and Hoovy's swinging. Then Hoovy goes back to the legs, locks in a sleeper hold after jumping from the top rope. Reese actually falls to one knee before squashing Hoovy in the corner. Then he does a backbreaker and tosses Hoovy again. Then he applies a bear hug. Hoovy kicks Reese in the balls twice. Ref just stared right at it. Reese dropped to his knees and takes Hoovy out with a right hook. And Reese hits Hoovy with a suplex. Then wants the ref to count him out. And Hoovy beats the count. Reese gets pissed, goes to the floor, grabs a chair, goes to clobber Hoovy, but the ref snatches the chair at the last second. Ref starts yelling at Lodi on the apron for some reason. Hoovy tries to do a Frankensteiner to Reese from the top rope, but gets caught. Van Hammer comes from nowhere, hits Reese with a chair, which in an awkward as fuck way allowed Hoovy to hit the Frankensteiner 1, 2, 3. Fuck everything about this.
Yeah, we probably could have done without that match.
Oh my God. And after the match, Hoovy jumped in Van Hammer's arms and was carried away. And Reese, the 400 pounds of useless shit that he is, threw a fit with Lodi and his goddamn sign.
You know, his highlight in WCW, as I remember, is being jackhammered by Goldberg. Like, that's pretty much what he's there for.
That's true, yeah. Which I don't even know if that's on a pay-per-view. I think that's just Nitro. So good job, Reese.
Yeah.
We have Chavo Guerrero Jr. versus Eddie Guerrero. Chavo comes out conflicted about slapping hands with the fans. Eddie tries to shake hands with Chavo, says he doesn't want to fight. Chavo slaps Eddie, but that just pisses Uncle Eddie off. They start brawling after doing Eddie's chest slap jerk off thing. They go back and forth. Eddie tries to leave. Then Eddie kicks the ropes into Chavo's dick when he's getting back in the ring. Chavo hits Eddie with a moonsault from the top rope after flipping and landing on his feet from the top rope earlier on the other side of the ring. And then Eddie hits Chavo with a brainbuster, stands over his nephew to berate and slap him. Chavo does the Undertaker throat grab thing, then blatantly strangles Eddie, screaming like a madman. Eddie starts running around the ring. Chavo chases. Eddie hides behind the referee. Chavo pushes the ref aside. Eddie chop blocks Chavo's knee. And he locks in a figure four, a gory special, then a camel clutch. Fans start taunting Eddie. He stops to tell him to kiss his ass. Then Eddie gets dumped out of the ring. Chavo hits a dive. Crowd starts chanting really loudly for Flair for some reason. I think earlier they were chanting for Goldberg as well. And then Chavo goes for a frog splash, but slips off the top rope. Eddie goes for a frog splash and just misses. Then Chavo hits a springboard tornado DDT. 1, 2, 3. Good win for Chavo.
Yeah, I was surprised that he won clean.
Yeah.
And
Something
then,
missing here, though.
what is that?
I don't know. Just their matches with the Ultimo Dragon were so good.
Yeah,
I don't know. I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think about it. Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder where we go from here, though, with Eddie and Chavo. Because he beat his uncle, so now is he free? Does he get his freedom now? Can't really have somebody under slavery that can whoop your ass, can you?
You can't, but I think I don't know. I think he's all in. I don't even think he wants to be free anymore.
Okay.
because he said when he was talking in the internet position, he was talking about he was right all along. You know, I should have listened to him at the beginning.
That's true.
So yeah, it kind of sounds like he's just in now.
So that maybe this is when Eddie just separates from Chavo. Like, you're too crazy for me.
They've reversed.
Yeah.
Which is funny because Eddie was still coming out and doing his heel thing.
Always got to put on a brave face.
True.
So the commentary team kills some time. Shivani wonders how the hell Savage and Piper can coexist when they have a match immediately after the big tag match they have. Heenan says it's all Bret Hart's fault. He's doing the bidding of Hogan and Bischoff, and someone's going away in a meat wagon as a result. Shivani says Piper and Savage have always disliked each other. Now it's just intensified. TNA says pretty much the same exact shit he said at the beginning of the show about Hogan and Hart being a team and the other two being at odds. Then he asks if they can both coexist, which is a point that Shivani went over. Good job, TNA. Then they play a clip of Piper and Savage at the last Nitro. Piper says they have to stick together for the tag match. Savage is belligerent and doesn't trust Piper. He's not a mark. Piper says he's tagging with Savage to beat the Double H's, but after Savage's ass belongs to Piper. And Savage ends up decking Piper, then Piper decks Savage, then we move on to the next match with no further discussion. It's like, that just happened. Don't need to talk about it.
The ultimate can they coexist happening there.
Right. So we have Booker T versus Fit Finlay for the WCW TV title. And it's so nice to see Fit Finlay coming out to real music instead of that generic Irish jig shit.
Actually, I didn't even hear his music.
Oh, there you go. It was like, I don't know, generic 80s rock sounding music, but it was a lot better than the flutes and shit.
The happy music.
Yeah.
The hornswoggle music.
Yes. Booker starts the match like he didn't wrestle earlier. What a fine singles run this has been for him, by the way. Then he hits a hell of a flying forearm, then a crossbody to Finlay on the floor. Finlay starts working on Booker's injured leg with a series of leg submissions, including a figure 4 leg lock. Then Finlay slams Booker's knee on the apron, wraps it around the ropes, trying to rip it out of its socket. Finlay does a stretch muffler to the injured leg, which was awesome. He dumps Booker out of the ring, grabs a chair, referee steps in, which they really love going to the, like, dumping people on the floor and grabbing a chair thing in this era.
Yeah.
Finlay compromises by slamming Booker's leg against the steel post. They get back to the ring. Finlay hits a Vader bomb to Booker's leg, and Booker catches Finlay with a spin kick and a power slam. Before that, the dumb fuck fans were chanting boring, which this was anything but boring.
I thought I heard that. And this was right before they started chanting. They were chanting "na na na na" goodbye to someone. Or
I think a fan got kicked out.
Yeah, and then they did that, and then after that, there's chanting boring.
Yeah, this was not a boring match. Fit Finlay was going after that injured leg and nothing else, which was great. So Booker hits a axe kick, then does a spin-a-rooney, but Finlay's there to deck him with a lariat, like as soon as Booker gets to his feet, which is great. Finlay signals for a tombstone. He picks Booker up. Then Booker slowly starts to topple over and ends up reversing the tombstone. Then he drops Finlay. He tries to pick him back up, which was worse. And Finlay immediately audibled to a pin, it looked like, because he tried to pick him up and then he just like fell on his ass. And then Finlay ended up just falling on him. And Yeah, he had to turn it into a pin. So Finley misses a shoulder tackle in the corner. Booker hits the weirdest pile driver I've ever seen. And yeah, one's 1, 2, 3. It was like a tombstone, but yeah. And Stevie Ray came out to celebrate with Booker.
And your new TV champion. And again, I just thought it was going to be Benoit because of the whole arc before, but it is Booker T.
So, if I'm not mistaken, this whole thing started because Benoit came out and distracted Booker. So Finley won.
Mm-hmm.
And then Booker did the same thing to Benoit. And they've been fussing and feuding ever since. So when Benoit finally has the chance to vanquish his rival, because at the assistance of Bret Hart, he says no. And he loses anyway.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Because he wanted to do the right thing, I guess. Win it the right way.
But he started off by costing the guy a title.
And then too.
So I mean, why did he all of a sudden? Why at his detriment did he decide to do the right thing when he could have done the right thing at somebody else's? When it didn't even involve him.
Yeah, I don't know.
So Conan versus Goldberg happened for the U.S. title. We get to hear the official Wolfpack theme for the first time. Sadly, they wasted it on Conan. I like when they cut back. I like when they cut to the black fans dancing. It was like, see, it's popular, guys.
Yeah.
Conan comes out with Rick Rude and Mr. Perfect. And for some reason, Goldberg is billed from parts unknown. And he's 99-0 coming into this match somehow. We get very loud Goldberg chants. He has the sparkler entrance now. So it's like, this is Goldberg.
Yep, we're here.
And
all that's missing is him blowing out the smoke of the fireworks.
And the coming out from the dressing room.
Oh yeah, with the guards.
Yeah. And at this point, I'm laughing because Goldberg is wrestling fucking Conan. So they lock up. Goldberg shoves Conan. Conan retreats to the floor, gets coached by Rude and Perfect. I think Conan tries a Russian leg sweep or something. Goldberg reverses it into a really awkward version of his leg submission. Goldberg shoots Conan into the corner, but Conan gets to his feet or gets his feet up when Goldberg gives chase. Goldberg hits a spear when Conan finally thinks he's going to get the advantage, even though Goldberg clearly recovered well before Conan tried to attack. It's kind of like when Saturn did the springboard thing and got speared. It's like he sees Goldberg recover and scream and well, I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Goldberg talks shit to Rude and Mr. Perfect, then hits a jackhammer, 1, 2, 3, and he is now 100-0. And then some fat cow had a pin me Goldberg sign in the crowd, which was special. And then Rude and Perfect.
I didn't see that, but...
Oh, I did. Rude and Perfect attacked Conan after the match for some reason. Turns out Perfect was NWO Hollywood all along. And I'm looking forward to more of that. No, I'm really NWO Red.
I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
People are just jumping teams here.
Nash and Luger come out for the save. So apparently Mr. Perfect was so scared to face Goldberg, he faked a knee injury, conned Conan into taking his place, then jumped to another team.
Yeah.
We get a Bash at the Beach advertisement. A couple are on a beach. Two wrestlers I've never seen before interrupt them. Giant comes out of the water, says something's going down. And he's not taking anyone down with the fucking disciple at his side. I'll tell you that. And can you imagine buying Bash at the Beach going off of that commercial alone?
No. Definitely needed. Well, I mean, they're all kind of just generic. Like, the last one you had Raven just talking about the constructs of American
stupid
whatever
family.
he was saying. Yeah.
I never had barbecues.
Yeah.
My uncle made me. My uncle made me play What's That Taste Like instead of barbecues.
Yeah.
Hollywood Hogan and Bret Hart versus Roddy Piper and Randy Savage. Some pig in the crowd had a men in skirts turn me on side. That was special as well. And this is the first time Piper and Savage have teamed, apparently. It's also the first time Hogan and Bret have also teamed, which I would have loved to have been privy to the discussion of them trying to sell this to Bret. Like, all right, what you're going to do is you're going to tag with Hulk Hogan. You're going to be friends. All right, so when do I hit him with the chair? No. That's the best part.
Yeah, I don't know. But overall, on paper, this looks like, you got 4 legends in there.
Yeah, it did dawn on me at one point. Like, it's Piper, Savage, Bret, and Hogan. Like, when's the star power?
Yeah.
It's off the chains. So it starts off with Savage and Piper arguing, of course. Then Piper and Hogan circle each other for a long time. Piper ends up calling timeout and swarms Hogan. Piper and Savage take turns eye-poking Hogan in a cartoon-like manner. And Piper and Savage start working well as a team. They do a lot of double team moves, then clean tag shit, and like none of the forced tag stuff. When they slap him in the back and then they do the stare. What are you doing? How dare you?
Yeah.
Piper
or
blatantly
hard tags.
Yeah, thank you. Piper blatantly bites Hogan on the side of the face, then shows off his pure striking abilities in the corner. There's more double teaming, quick tags by Savage and Piper. Disciple ends up hitting Piper with the world title belt, and Bret and Hogan start working well as a team, which that was surprising to me. It was surprising, like, how well. It was surprising to me how into it Bret seemed. He was very committed.
Yeah. It sure was.
So they keep fucking with Savage, and so they can do cheap shots to Piper behind the ref's back. Must be something about hating your partner that makes like good tag team match or something, or tag partners. Because Savage and Piper hate each other, and Bret and Hogan. So Bret hits Piper with a Russian leg sweep, then elbow drop from halfway across the ring. And then Piper ends up tagging in Savage when the ref didn't see, which I love when they used to do that. Like, no, I didn't see it. It didn't happen. Now they don't even bother.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, tag team wrestling doesn't get as much shine as it used to. But
Savage ends up grabbing a chair and he places it on Piper just as Brett does his nut headbutt thing. So Brett goes face first into the chair. Savage gets tagged in, opens a can of whoop ass on Hogan and Brett. Eventually, the 2-on-1 advantage overwhelms Savage, and Brett grabs Savage from behind. Hogan ends up taking Brett out with the clothesline. Brawl ensues. Savage goes for the elbow drop to Brett. Hogan whips Piper into the ropes, causing Savage to get crotch. Commentary's explanation was that Savage's knee just gave out, which, I mean, Hogan threw Piper in. He looked at Savage climbing on the ropes, threw Piper into the ropes. Savage fell. That's what happened. His knee didn't give out. Open your fucking eyes. There's 3 of you. Disciple attacks Piper again. Hogan wraps Savage's leg around the steel post. Brett locks Savage in the sharpshooter. Savage just taps.
And I think...
Did he submit this time?
He did.
Okay.
For sure. But I remember seeing something online about like that being the first time Savage like actually tapped out. Maybe it wasn't, but
if we're to believe the last pay-per-view, which was Slamboree, this would be the first time, because they said Savage has never tapped out, and then we had that big to-do about, well, no, he saw the knucks.
Yeah. He did see the knucks. We established that's what the...
I'm saying what happened. I'm not rehashing the argument.
Okay, because we established it.
But yes, this would be the first time, allegedly, that Savage tapped out. If we were to believe what we were told in Slamboree.
Yeah. So sad for that. But, it is a sharpshooter, so so much can only happen.
That's true. So Mean Gene gets to the ring. Gene says Savage really gave it up tonight. What's going on between the two of you? Says to Piper. He's like, how can Piper think about continuing with the one thing? I'm sorry. He asks, how can Piper think about continuing with the one-on-one match they discussed with Savage they discussed earlier with Savage all fucked up? And Piper waves off Gene, then goes to help Savage up. And as thanks, Savage decks Piper and starts choking him. So they ring the bell. And we get Roddy Piper versus Randy Savage. And the ref stops Savage from choking Piper. Savage decks Piper and hits the elbow drop. And that fucks Savage's injured leg up even more. So Piper is able to kick out. Savage takes the ref out for no reason. And then Piper locks in a figure 4. A second referee comes out. Savage submits again. Good job, Randy.
So not only was this his first tap out, but it was also his second one.
And all he had to do was accept Piper's help.
Yeah. All you had to do was just say the match can't go on, but that's not the madness.
Well, the madness said, I quit. That brings us to the Giant versus Sting, which determines the control of the WCW tag team titles. And Giant comes out to NWO theme music and then just lights up a cigarette. I guess illustrating that he's a bad guy. Also,
they kind of mentioned...
Yeah, they also said that Sting said that Giant he doesn't work out or some shit. Doesn't take care of himself.
Yeah, basically he'd be better in the wrestling industry if he took his diet serious and stopped smoking.
Yeah.
Which, seeing him in WWE, I guess you can... yeah. You can agree with that.
True. Sting comes out Buffer says the lone wolf is now a member of the wolf pack. And Giant blows smoke in Sting's face. Sting just kicks Giant's ass. Sting goes for a stinger splash but gets swatted down. Sting ducks a couple clotheslines from Giant and then goes for a crossbody, then bounces harmlessly off Giant. Which I'm like, man, he's really hitting those he's really ducking those clotheslines with some speed. Just shooting under him. He goes for the crossbody and poof. And Giant just looks at him like, what the fuck? Giant hits an elbow drop, then lawn darts Sting in the turnbuckles. Sting catches Giant with a drop kick to his knee. Then he hits a stinger splash a couple times. He scoop slams Giant, then locks in a sharpshooter. Giant powers out of the sharpshooter. So Sting just grabs him, hits the reverse DDT. But Giant kicks out. Giant goes for a choke slam. Sting blocks it somehow. I don't know how. And hits a second reverse DDT. Giant kicks out again. Then Giant goes for a charging something in the corner. Sting blocks it. Hits a reverse DDT off the top rope. 1, 2, 3. And Sting is given the tag belts. And we're left wondering who his new tag team partner is going to be. Well, we're going to have to find out, I guess, in the next one.
We'll find out on Nitro, of course.
Of course. Or maybe Bash at the Beach.
Yes. But yeah, I will say, I didn't think this match was going to turn into anything. Because, you know, when the Giant came out there smoking, I was like, okay. I remember just like everybody was getting fed up with the booking or whatever, and they would stop trying. And I thought this was part of it, like him coming out just smoking a cigarette because he didn't care.
No,
it was just part of the gimmick, I guess, or part of the story.
Yeah, we're a couple years away from that. I think when Nash becomes world champion, that's kind of when the booking. Definitely when Russo comes.
Yeah, we need Russo to be there. But yeah, I think it was him that told a story about like, oh, I guess yes, Nash world champion coming out there smoking. But I had low expectations when he came out there smoking. I'm like, okay, he's not gonna. This is about to be a train wreck.
I'm just glad it was short.
Definitely was short, yeah.
Well, yeah, the next pay-per-view is WCW Bash at the Beach, 1998. It's in San Diego, California. Main event is Hollywood Hogan and Dennis Rodman, with the Disciple, of course, versus Diamond Dallas Page and the Mailman, Karl Malone.
This is one of them.
Yep. But before that, we have WrestleMania 31, which took place in Levi's Stadium in San Francisco, California. 9 matches were contested at the event, including 2 matches on the kickoff pre-show thing. In the main event, Seth Rollins cashed in his Money in the Bank contract as the match between defending champion Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns was in progress, resulting in an impromptu triple threat match. And the notable matches include The Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt, and this is Taker's first on-screen appearance since losing to Lesnar. And yes, Wyatt 100% carried the feud in WrestleMania. Like, I think they just did little clips of Undertaker's voice and shit. It was 100% Wyatt.
That's fair.
We had John Cena versus Rusev for the WWE United States Championship. Rusev Day. Rusev's undefeated streak going into WrestleMania against the established veteran, John Cena, who's 100 times world champion by now. Looking forward to that. Triple H versus Sting, no disqualification match. This will be Sting's debut match in WWE. as well as his only WrestleMania match ever.
So I think I was back into wrestling at this point, so I do remember this match.
Okay. I remember it too, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And another notable match was the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, which is already on the pre-show. Big Show won this time.
Good for him.
And that is our Wrestling Rewind.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I was actually, with the last review, I thought this one was going to be worse. Or not worse, but, I thought they were going downhill from here. But there's a lot of stuff I enjoyed on that show.
I enjoyed every single match, and I hated almost every single finish.
Yeah, I could see that. Especially like after the first two matches, like everything was booked weird. It's like, I don't know why when the NWO is involved, why do you always have to put some kind of craziness on it?
No shit.
And seemingly when the flock is involved, it's get the same thing.
Whenever there's factions.
Yeah. Like there's always got to be some kind of crazy thing.
But yeah, Booker and Benoit, the finish was good there. Saturday and Canyon, the stupid double mortis thing, just killed it. That's why I'm like, it's the match of the night, but that happened. Like, how can I, in good conscience,
And like, okay, if it was at Halloween Havoc, then it makes a little bit more sense.
True. Yeah. But even then, man.
Wait, and I just thought about something. So, at the beginning of that match, there was that Canyon. I'm sorry, there was that Mortis.
Mm-hmm.
So was that the same Mortis that was getting his ass beat at the end?
Or is there possibly a third Mortis?
Yeah. Is that a different Mortis?
Oh my god. Yeah, Jericho Malenko. I didn't really care for the parking lot. Like I like the idea of Malenko getting so fed up that he just takes Jericho outside, but then the hokiness of Jericho running across the street and hiding and yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were going for a bigger spot. Like, I don't know, Jericho gets hit by a car or something.
That'd be funny. Or I was thinking he'd get like thrown through a windshield or something. Or when they flame him on the car.
Yeah, I mean you could tell the people that were driving were not a part of the thing. They didn't know what the hell was going on.
Then who would do Reese? I don't want to talk about that anymore.
The less we say about that, the better.
Yep. Let that die a death. Chava and Eddie, the finish was all right. I think I just wanted Eddie to win.
That was a little surprising.
Booker and Fit, I can't blame them. The finish was botched. It wasn't a bad finish. Cunningham and Goldberg was quick. Savage Piper, all that shit was a mess.
Yeah. And it's again, just go out there and be who you are.
And then the 3 reverse DDTs.
And the last one was super weird too.
What's that?
I said the last one was super weird.
Yeah.
like the giant letting out that scream. Oh! But yeah, that was our retro. And now, and we're a little bit running early. It was good.
That means I took good notes.
Yeah. We're only 2 hours in. We're usually like a 4-hour show.
I know, right?
But let's talk about some news. Let's see if we can make it 3 hours that way. Not that it has to be 3 hours, I'm just saying. Let's see how long these news stories take. This is what I was getting at there. So let's start off with our first story. Now, what do I want to say about this? Not necessarily building. I don't know. Maybe this is not a story that we should be covering, but he's a big part of the wrestling community, creator-wise. So I think it's a story that should be covered. And that's Mr. Tesh. Mr. Tesh, formerly, if you don't know who that is, it's just one of the wrestling reactors. Now, you know we did the story last week about the wrestling reactors getting called out for being fake and paid. And they went through it. I'm not going to lie. They went through it last week. The reactors, they started questioning if, like, somehow it turned, like, later on, it turned into people saying that that's the, like, lowest form of content creation in the space, because all they're doing is reacting.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I don't know. You say that, but, like, all we're doing is talking about what already happened. It's just two different forms of the same thing. But we fast forward a little bit, and again, they're still going through it. And Wheezy Blonde, which is also one of the wrestling reactors. Now, I don't have the tweet, and it's deleted, so I can't show you the actual tweet. But the TLDR is, she puts out a tweet saying that, she's distanced herself from one of the creators because there was an incident back at SummerSlam when they were in Detroit, which was a few years back, like 2 years back. And the creator, this being Mr. Test, made her feel uncomfortable. That's all she said. She didn't go into detail about what made her uncomfortable. Shortly after, we have other, and again, I couldn't find, and I should already point this out because I haven't said it yet. This is all accusations and allegedly. But we have other people saying that he was doing stuff with children or something, trying to do stuff with children. Again, all alleged.
Well, this dude?
Yes.
Oh.
I guess the sentiment that I gathered, because I didn't see any actual, like, oh yeah, he did this to me or anything like that. But I guess the entire sentiment was that, he was hitting on his audience. And if you can tell by his reactions, obviously his audience is younger. But this leads us to...
Was it a situation where he was hitting on somebody from his audience and it just so happened to be somebody underage? Or did he knowingly, allegedly go after somebody underage? Because I think there's a distinction.
There is. And to be honest, I couldn't find... Like, I looked through the research, and I couldn't find, like...
It's probably not worth talking about then.
Yeah, I'm just saying this is what people were saying. But I couldn't find any, like, hard evidence or... Oh, not evidence. It's all alleged accusations. But yeah, You didn't have anybody like, yeah, I was 17 at the time or whatever. You didn't have any of that. It was just people saying, "Oh yeah, this guy's hitting on children."
How old is he?
I would guess he's in his 30s.
Okay.
Maybe like young 30. But we fast forward. Did he address any of the allegations? Did he make any claims of being sorry and anything? No, he didn't. He took to Twitter, and as you see the headline here, it says, "Sad to go. Thanks for the fun." So if you, I guess we could play it. This is his response to everything.
It's been a very interesting 48 hours for myself, both online and in just my normal life. I've been in this space for nearly 4 years now, and some things have, come with controversy. And honestly, I just thought it was internet dribble, things that, you just move away from. But over the last several months, not just in the last 2 days, over the last several months, I've really began to lose my passion for content creation and this space. And unfortunately, with the absurd things that are being said online right now, which I'm not going to comment on because really I shouldn't have to. The people that know me are the ones that know me and know that none of that would ever happen. So I'm going to announce today that I will be fully stepping away from the content creation space. I will still do my Monday Night Raw and my Friday Night SmackDown streams on Twitch, but at this point, this isn't worth it. I have a daughter. I have a 6-year-old daughter that I don't let a lot of people know because that's my private life that I have to think about. So honestly, it's just not worth it anymore. So congratulations to everyone and their success that I've worked with in the last several years. Congratulations to the new and up-and-coming content creators that are doing incredible things. But it just isn't worth it anymore. So take care, guys. Happy 2025.
Oh, that changes things. He just lost his passion. I didn't hear that part.
He lost his passion about, he said, months before this even happened.
Yeah, that had nothing to do with it. It's probably just pushed him over the edge.
Well, I mean, it sounds like it was kind of like the last straw, or maybe he was toying with it.
Very interesting.
Maybe he was toying with it, and now he's like, well, this is gonna happen. I don't know anything about the guy, so all I can do is take what he says at face value.
I don't know anything about him either. Yeah. The amount I've seen from him is from clips, and even that, the only clips I've seen have been since last week. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know that he had that genuine reaction to Top Dollar coming out in TNA.
Yeah. So he had that.
Aside from that, that's all I know. I don't know anything about, even know less about the, ongoings of his fan base.
Yeah. But now he said in there, he's stepping away from content creation, but he's still going to do his stream. Isn't that content creation? Or does he mean he's not going to post clips anymore? Because he's not passionate. He's lost his passion. But not because of what happened. He lost it beforehand.
That's what he said.
I
mean, if you want to get technical, you can say streams are content creation. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess he was sending the clips and stuff. But it does sound a little bit like he's running, if I'm being honest. Sounds like he flew too close to the sun. Like, he got some controversy thrown his way, and he's like, oh, okay, I'm done.
Well, if I'm being honest, and again, I'm not too familiar with the other side of it. Just going based on what he's saying here, it sounds like because if we're being honest, wrestling sucks right now. He's losing the passion to do wrestling-based content.
I don't think
That's what he
clip
said.
Was last week.
This clip?
No, the Top Dollar clip.
Oh.
I was like last week.
Well, that just proves our point that it's fake.
He can't deal with the fakeness
That's
anymore.
the real story. Fuck the allegations. This man just proved us right. It was fake. Here he is losing his passion. He's walking away from streaming or content creation or whatever he's doing. But we just saw that Top Dollar thing where he's like, oh my God, no way.
Yeah.
Ah!
Like, so genuine that is.
Like, what was his name? Tyson or Tyrone Biggums? What's Top Dollar's name?
I don't know.
Okay. But he's like, it was his real name. He's like, Tyrone Biggums. Like, you fucking knew that. Come on.
Yeah. Such a genuine reaction to Top Dollar. And the funny thing was the comments, because they're like, you would have thought Eddie Guerrero came back from the dead. This guy's acting like... Yeah. Just a bunch of big stars, and it's like, nah, this is Top Dollar. Like, out of context, yeah. You wouldn't be... If you just... Let's say the actual picture clip wasn't there, and there was no names, and you just hear the reaction, and you had to guess who it was. I don't think Top Dollar would be at the top of that list.
No, not even close. I don't understand. I don't understand why you would attempt to fake a reaction like that for Top Dollar.
Well, that goes back to the whole, comes off as he's getting paid to react.
Well, yeah.
But oh yeah, give us a big reaction and then maybe people will get drawn in and want to watch the show or something.
But then that there's the question of who's going to pay somebody to react to Top Dollar.
The company.
They're going to spend money on Top Dollar that way. We really need this Top Dollar to get over. We got a lot of eggs in that Top Dollar basket. We want to be in the Top Dollar business.
Well, from the context of that video, it seemed like that was like a main event thing that was happening. Because he walked out there to Zilla Fatu. So
that wasn't TNA then. That was
it's GCW.
Those Bookers thing.
Or yeah, Reality of Wrestling or whatever.
Well, then I can see Booker, for some reason, him liking Top Dollar.
Yeah, but yeah, it seemed like they're pushing him for a main event thing, so they're trying to make it a big deal. I mean, it worked. It got like 3 million views, although they weren't good views. As you were saying, it was fake as hell, but
well, sure,
it got attention. But yeah, that's Mr. Tesh. Let us know what you think. Again, everything is alleged. He didn't help matters because he didn't address any of it.
He said it didn't happen. He said he doesn't. He said he didn't need to. He said the people that know him know his true character. They're silly allegations. What's that?
I said, yeah, he needed to. I mean, how hard is it to say? I mean,
He did. He said, if you listen to what he said they were silly. He said he didn't need to really go into detail about it because they're so fucking outrageous. He said the people that really know him, that's all that matters because they know him.
If
he
it's so
addressed
outrageous,
it because he didn't give you the answer that you want. He didn't say, oh, well, when I was grabbing her titty, I didn't ask her age. Allegedly.
Yeah. Well, if it's so untrue and silly, why is there details? Like, I'm not going to go into detail. Why is there details? There shouldn't even be details. Oh,
maybe there aren't details.
He said there were details.
Well, the details might be made up by somebody else. Why is he going to defend somebody else's details?
I don't know. You clear your name, but he's leaving, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it's just internet shit. Or that's how he's viewing it.
Yeah, but he's running from it too.
I don't know. I need to know more about the situation before I can say whether or not he's running. I will say 9 times out of 10 they are running, but I cannot publicly say that this man is running when I don't know.
I'm not saying he's running. I'm just saying
you said like 4 or 5 times he's running. What are you talking about?
It appears that he's running.
Oh, now it's
not saying that he is running for sure. I'm just saying it gives the sense of running.
All right.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't know.
But yeah, let us know what you think of Mr. Tesh. And again, it's all alleged. So if you're gonna put something in the comments crazy, just actually don't put anything crazy in the comments. Like,
fuck it. Say whatever you want.
Just say like, good riddance or something. Don't be spreading shit. Oh yeah, he entered my sister, who's 15. Like, don't be doing any of that unless you have proof, hard proof.
I don't want any proof involving anybody who's 16. Keep that proof away from me.
Yeah, there's that too. Like, we're not. You got the wrong place for all that.
Yeah, maybe we should move on.
It's like, oh man, you not the place to send it. Anyway, before we move on, Dave Chappelle's trending right there. Click on that. And let's
he did a Saturday Night Live monologue.
Oh, okay.
I was seeing. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
I got you. I was 10 steps ahead of you there. He wished Trump good luck.
On Saturday Night Live?
Yeah, so he's probably a racist now.
Yeah, you can't be doing that. Probably is. Anyway. Move on to the next story. So, we live in this age of social media, as Mr. Tesh has just shown us. And, with this social media age, you can become relevant, and then within the blink of an eye, you can become irrelevant. Or you can get, as the kids say now, canceled. My favorite version of this is when someone doesn't even make a comment. They just like something. Just double tap on the screen that they're mindlessly scrolling. And they double tap on the screen. They like it. They move on. They probably forgotten about it. But then you have the internet sleuths who apparently just go checking for who's liked stuff. Enter Jada Parker. Now, Jada Parker, if you don't know, just a quick summary. She is one of the up-and-coming stars over there in NXT. Apparently, she's pretty heavy in the women's division there. That's pretty much all I can tell you about her. Because I don't watch NXT. But on Instagram, there was a post, and we have it on the screen here. Can you click on it so I can see the... So there's a post, and the post is from, it says, the U.S. House has passed a bill to ban transgender athletes from competing in women's and girls' sports at federally funded school. That was the post. This again is on Instagram. And then if you look, so whoever saw this post, they happened to follow her, this being Jada Parker. And when you follow someone, it tells you who's liked the post. So, as we can see here, this post has been liked by Jada Parker, WWE. And boy, did this cause a shitstorm. She got canceled. Let me say, she got canceled. Or they at least tried to cancel her over liking this post. Now, my first... I don't even... How should I approach this? Why is it controversial? Why is it even controversial for her to have liked this post?
Because it's allegedly a transphobic post.
Yes. Well, is it a transphobic post?
No, I mean...
Transgender athletes...
I think it's an informative post. I don't think that... The post itself is not transgender. It's saying what happened. The U.S. House passed a bill to ban transgender athletes.
Yes. So...
But they're calling it...
I don't know...
They're spinning it that she liked a transphobic post, which is not the case. She liked a bill that was passed.
Yes. So it quickly got out of hand. She is now a transphobe for liking, and again, she didn't, at this point, she hadn't commented on anything. It was just double tapping the screen to indicate that she liked, which is funny. I heard these other YouTubers, they were talking to the Instagram CEO, and they were talking about, yeah, we need another like form of engaging with a post to indicate that we like it. Because I see a lot of posts and I like them, but I can't publicly like them. Like I can't attach my brand to liking that post.
So
which is where we are.
Yeah, that's really dumb.
But yeah, so we have Jada Parker. She gets called out for being a transphobe off of liking this post. It got so... And people were adding Shawn Michaels, which is her boss at the moment. And it got so out of control that she had to take...
Wait. They're messaging Jesus loving Shawn Michaels about a transgender post.
Yes.
Man, they ain't too bright, are they?
Yeah. I mean, they'll probably move on to Triple H next or something.
Triple H that was just at the RNC? Or he wasn't at the RNC, but he was at the Trump celebration thing at Mar-a-Lago with Stephanie and Vince, I think.
Yes. The Triple H whose mother-in-law works for Trump.
That too.
They'll keep going.
Okay. I'm just saying.
I don't know. I think it's going to die down. But Jada Parker, she did take to her Twitter to elaborate on said issue.
Do we have that?
Go. Yeah, it's all those right there.
This?
No, that's a different story.
Ooh,
Go
that?
up.
Oh, you. Oh, up.
Yeah, up, right there. So this little, so go back down. It's those little black dots, right there.
This?
Yeah. Oh, look at there. Oh, tweet and delete. So you see, she says here, if you go come at me, come correct. Apparently, there was a tweet and delete there. So this was a response to. Basically, she responded to being called transphobe specifically. She then goes on to say,
Oh, she's doing that. People are so fucking over dramatic on social media. Oh, I got a black spot now.
what does that
I'm making it.
stand for?
She took her profile picture off, so now it's just a black spot, and then there's a little background. You're gonna get the version of me that you deserve, which is none. Did she take her pictures off? Nope, she's still whoring herself on the pictures though, so she still wants you to see that.
There you go. But the gist of it is, she said that she's not a transphobe. She,
yeah, she's not a transphobe. She's just a woman.
Yes, and a former D1 athlete, and doesn't prefer competing against biological males. So that's pretty much the gist of it. And again, I don't know why it's controversial, and I don't think she should be punished for it, and I don't think she will get punished for it. Like, it's one of those things.
Not
like,
by Shawn Michaels.
Oh yeah, you're a transphobe because you don't want to compete against a biological man. That is.
She said, "Don't get nothing twisted. I support the LGBTQ community, but I am a woman who also played D1 sports. And if y'all can't understand that, I don't know what else to tell y'all."
Yeah. Now, J.K. Rowley, she kind of flew off the rails afterwards. Or she didn't fly off the rails. She just like, okay, well. But, her thing that had people turn against her, this is the creator of Harry Potter, people turned against her because she said, oh, I don't want to share a bathroom with a guy.
Yeah.
Or, a transgender person, I don't want to share a bathroom with them. Oh, you bitch. How dare you say something like that?
Well, she's also like, why are all these men like taking these women's spaces? Because they're if you have a bunch of men coming into women's fields and then taking up all the shit, it's like it's not women's shit anymore. It's men's.
It is.
Like you had that one swimmer from Penn or Penn State or whatever that sucked as a swimmer, turned into a dude. It was all of a sudden a medalist.
Oh, Thomas or Thompson, whatever. Liam. I don't know. I know who you're talking about though.
Yeah.
Turned into Michael Phelps because he went to the women's division.
Right, and despite the fact they're all like, no, we don't want to be forced to change in front of this dude.
And the worst part of it is, it wasn't even post-op. Like, right. There's that big ass bulge. Like, not only was it a man, it was allegedly, seemingly a well-endowed man. Like, anyway, I just don't know. Yeah. But you have people talk about like women's rights, and you got the My Body, My Choice stuff. But, God forbid a woman speak up and say she doesn't want to compete against a man or be in a changing room with a man, or like, whoa, I mean, you got what rights, but you don't got those rights.
It's all backwards. What can I say? When it comes to that shit, it's just all kooky.
But yeah, that is Jada Parker's information there. I guess let us know what you think. Here we go. Let us know what you think if it's in the comments. Does Jada Parker need to be punished? Okay, let me rephrase it. Do you think there will be any repercussion for her liking this post? Or not? Yes. I don't know how to frame that. Like, I don't think I really want the comments. Like, if your comments are going to be like, oh, she's, like, I don't want those comments. I'm not going to agree with you.
Well, you don't have to agree with them.
Yeah, that is our...
That's the great thing about an open forum. You don't have to agree with the comments.
True.
You
So
can't
let's know
tell
what you
them,
think in the comments.
You can just tell them how stupid they are, or you can ignore them.
I won't ignore. But yeah, I can say, I'm not going to agree with you, but, we do let both sides speak here. So this isn't like, oh, if you disagree with me, you're getting banned.
Although there was that one person that completely disagreed with your take on Jeff Hardy, and you're like, oh yeah, that would be interesting to see your take happen. So you're pretty good at appeasing people that disagree.
Yeah, I mean, it's his opinion.
Yeah.
But moving on to our next segment, which happens to be your favorite segment, my favorite segment, and everybody's favorite segment, just so happens to be a segment called Cheap Pops.
What does everybody want? What does everybody need?
Oh, another cheap pop.
What does everybody love?
Oh, that cheap pop is there for the taking.
Welcome, everybody, to another week of Cheap Pops. Coming up in today's episode, Jada Parker and Jey Uso get a nasty rumor spread about them. TNA and WWE sign a major deal, as if they haven't already. And what the hell's going on with Corey Graves? That and so much more coming up on Cheap Pops. And we're going to start with Jada Parker. And this is, yes, different from the story we just went over. So, the quick recap, because this will be a different video, the quick recap is that Jada Parker, she liked a post that said that transgender people were getting banned from scholar sports. That's a give or take. So, like, she liked the post. She got labeled as a transphobe over it. If you want to hear our thoughts on that, you can go look at the other video in the description. I'm sorry. You can go look at the other video that we just put out. But amongst all this, somehow, another rumor got started. And this rumor is that she and Jey Uso had having an affair. Jey Uso, who's married, by the way. But it's just a nasty rumor that got started. And this is the video that catches Jada Parker and Jey Uso. And you're going to have to watch it more than this. Okay. So up in the corner right there, you see the white to the left. Right there. So apparently that's Jey Uso.
Oh. I
So
don't
to
know
the
about
left.
that.
To the left. Not
Right
the guy
here?
in the hat. To the left.
Ooh.
Or maybe it's to the right. Hold on, we got to pause it. Pause it. Pause it. Okay. So you see the guy in the hat?
Okay.
Up right above him, there's white pants and white shoes. So apparently that right there is Jey Uso. And then the legs next to him is allegedly Jada Parker. So this is the video.
So, well, hold on. I thought this was. Oh, all right.
So they're doing a shoey. This is Grayson Waller and
Oh, that is
Indy
Jay.
Hartwell. So Jay Uso's right there.
I think that's Jimmy too.
So yeah, this pixel, and then beside him is a person that you never see, by the way.
That is definitely Jay.
It's definitely Jay. Okay, and then beside him is a person.
Well,
You
I
never
mean,
see the face.
I'm 90% certain it's Jay. It's got his little mo haircut. You can see the goatee.
It definitely looks like Jay. I can give you that.
And
But-
then
And what they're zooming in here is apparently the person that's sitting next to him that we never see in the black leggings there rubs his leg.
yeah. Hold on. Yep.
Right there. Right there. You see
She's
that?
rubbing her leg. There it is.
Right there.
There it is.
That's
Yeah, whore.
Now, that's the evidence there. And then if we go back to the... So you see the black leggings there. Keep those black leggings in mind. And apparently, and I don't know where this even came from, but there's this picture uploaded right here of Jada Parker in those leggings. So the internet has put 2 and 2 together and said Jay Uso's fucking her, or they're having an affair with her.
Oh, god damn it. Why does it automatically play? I mean, it's the same leggings as me.
I don't know. It's a reach.
Now, how's it a reach? Sexual heart. Now, is it a reach that it's her? I mean, in some weird way to make a profit, do you think these leggings people made the same, multiple versions of this?
Yes,
Oh,
they may have made more than one. That's for one. And 2, we never saw anything other than that knee in those leggings. Like, there was never any... I don't know. It's not like you see her face.
no.
So this person's
There's
putting
a
this
little-
together based off of leggings.
Flowers. I wish there was a way to do a. That's how you know we're amateurs. Gotta keep going back and forth like fucking. Those are definitely the same leggings. Now, are we to interpret anything from the leg rub though? I mean, it's just a leg rub. These are 2 adults. He may have said something funny. It's not like she grabbed his dick.
Yeah. I mean, you can't be getting your leg rubbed, though.
Maybe she wiped something on him.
Or maybe she... Yeah. I don't know. And yeah, it could have been a platonic leg rub. I've had someone touch my leg before, and it was platonic. Just like,
Yeah.
I say something funny and they like touch my leg. Now, of course, for me, I didn't think it was platonic. It's like, all right, let's go in the bathroom.
Of course.
Let's do it now. but for her,
She's like, oh, this is this friend.
yeah. But yeah, that's what the internet's putting together. And again, it comes after the whole incident of her being a transphobe. So they just bring this up right after that. And we do have a response from Jay Uso. I don't have a bookmark. I mean, it was a story, so I didn't get time to screenshot it, but he
Give me a
basically
second.
just said, y'all are funny.
Oh, Jay Uso?
Yeah.
Hold on. This is a parody account. God damn it.
Yeah,
I don't think that.
here.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's four
basically said, y'all are funny. Just watch me work. And that was it. So.
Does he not have a?
He does. I think it's. I don't know the name of it, but he does.
Jesus
Or he may
Christ.
have left Twitter.
Oh, no, not Jay Uso. The cartoon character is a Blue Skyer.
Well, not for that. He
Oh.
just left because. There it is, actually.
Where?
That right there.
Fade?
Well, no, that's not his. Sorry, that's not his account. That's the post though that he put out.
Oh, this is Instagram.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, he had that. That was his response to all this stuff. Which is just says, "Hey man, y'all funny. Just watch me work." So yeah, I think that's a deadening the rumor.
I guess. What's he supposed to say? Like, yeah, we fucking.
Well, he could have said nothing.
I fuck her with my actual man's dick.
Like he could have not addressed it and said no comment. Like someone else. But you know, there's two different levels, so of course he's gonna say more. This is ridiculous that like people are just trying to grasp at straws over, and this all springs back to her not wanting to compete against born males.
Just like in a post.
Yes.
An informational post.
Yeah. There was no opinion about it. It was just
At least
this is what happened.
Yeah, at least from what we saw. They didn't say like, oh, good thing, kill them all.
And you know, another thing. I was reading through the comments on that post, and a lot of people were talking about, oh, but you know, it makes them feel good. You know, they like the competing thing, competing in the sport makes them feel good about themselves.
So why don't they compete with the women or because
that doesn't make them feel good because they're not
winning.
They're not a man anymore. They're a woman now.
Well, they still have cock and balls. I mean, it's hard to argue with that.
But the one thing I would say is like, can we just make a third? I don't know. Maybe that's a little too much. Like make a third division.
Well, the reality is there's not enough. Despite the fact that they make you seem like they make it seem like there's so many of them that are just being oppressed.
Yeah. We don't hear about it a lot. Like, I think, what was there, like 3 maybe in college?
Well, just think about our space. Like, imagine we're going to build a wrestling federation based on transgender wrestlers. How many can you name?
2.
There you go. I mean,
yeah. So yeah, I guess not enough, but or I mean, how about this? Maybe if you're gonna choose this life, then you just, you have to make sacrifices.
Yeah, that is an unfortunate reality. I mean, if you're not gonna compete with your biological sex, then I don't know what to tell you.
And yeah, you got to make sacrifices. You want to be a woman, a woman, let's say a woman got pregnant, college athlete woman got pregnant. You know what? She's done. No more college athletes. No more college athletics.
That's true.
That's part of the sacrifice. Now, you want to be a woman, you got to do sacrifices. If you want to choose to go down that route, then guess what? College sports done. At least that's just my opinion. But that would make sense though. Like, that's just part of what you're giving up. It's like
yeah, but everything's got to be. I don't know. We got to live in a world without power levels, and everybody's equal.
Yeah, that's true.
And it doesn't work like that. Unfortunately, there are people that are just better and more gifted.
Well, I don't think they're.
And cutting your dick off to get a competitive advantage is not the way to go.
Yeah. But on that note, we move on. We move on to TNA and WWE. So they have announced, this being TNA and WWE, that they are in a partnership. Now, you may be asking yourself, and I wouldn't blame you, well, what have they been doing for the past few months with Joe Hendry and Jordan Grace? But, they never necessarily put pen to paper. But now I guess it is more of a pen to paper type deal. And WWE, via their account, they put out this long ass statement. The gist of it is that there's a collaboration. Sorry?
I'm getting it. I got it. Oh.
Yeah. And as we see here, there's a multi-year deal partnership to enhance talent exposure across wrestling promotions. I'm just giving you a summary here. I'm not going to read the whole damn thing. The collaboration will see NXT superstars and TNA superstars appearing on each other's key programming, like NXT and TNA Impact, alongside select premium live events and pay-per-views. So, are we saying that there's going to be? They should do like a worlds collide, or like TNA versus WWE, and like every match is back and forth. I'm trying not to say Forbidden Door, but let's just go ahead and say it. Like a Forbidden Door. They should do a Forbidden Door.
I mean, I don't know who's on TNA.
I don't either.
So maybe. Well, they said the Hardy Boys are.
Yeah. Now this says here that the partnerships with TNA. I'm sorry, with NXT. So would I even watch it if it was a Worlds Collide type deal or Forbidden Door? Probably not. But
wait, so NXT and TNA that's basically a partnership between them?
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to send TNA people to the main roster. Like, what are we thinking about here? Come on.
If you have people good enough, you can do an invasion angle.
Yeah, you could. But I don't know if there's. Yeah, I don't know who's in TNA to begin with. So.
Or vice versa. The new bloodline could go to TNA. Get some credibility.
Just direct shot. I don't know. I think it's good with where they are with the NXT. I mean, Roxanne Perez versus Jordan Grace. it got a lot of attention, and not really big like male crossover. I don't remember. Like we had Joe Hendry on TNA. I'm sorry, on NXT. He was in the Battle Royal. He did some other stuff. Aside from that, I couldn't tell you who else did the partnership thing.
I couldn't either.
But again, they've already kind of been doing this, so I don't know why everybody's overreacting, but it is big news. So
there you go.
I want to throw it in there. We'll do these other two stories because they're quicker, and then we can finish off on Mr. Graves. So we have Alexa Bliss. She is apparently poised for a return soon, as she took to her Instagram account and she shared a picture. And the picture is this. And she says, back to pre-pregnancy weight. So basically, she is back to her in-ring weight and seemingly ready to return. She's probably going to return at the Royal Rumble, if I had to guess. And if she doesn't do it there, then I mean, I don't know where else. Like, she's going to have to go ahead and return if she wants to be in WrestleMania plans. And then there's also the question of, is she gonna be with the Wyatt Six, or is she gonna be like, is she gonna be dark Alexa Bliss, or is she gonna be blonde? Well, she is blonde. You know, the original Alexa Bliss. Nothing.
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is, yeah, she would have experience losing weight.
Why?
Didn't she have an eating disorder or something?
I don't know. Probably.
I mean, the Wyatt Sucks they're already relegated to SmackDown, so fuck her if she joins them. Then she's relegated to SmackDown too. If she comes back and she's a power player in the women's division, that's just another tiny girl that's demonstrating athletic abilities well beyond what she's supposed to be capable of.
Yeah, she should really be the Magic Lady. At least that's more believable. You know, she's dropping rafters on Randy Orton and shooting fireballs. Much more believable. Anyway, there's that. And
you know what? I'll let you have it. This one time. This one time.
Speaking of someone who's made an amazing transformation, Kiana James. Now, if you don't know who that is, Kiana James, she was once on Monday Night Raw. She got drafted from NXT. She was on Monday Night Raw. She didn't really do anything, and then she had like maybe one or two matches, and then she turned into Adam Pearce's like pseudo secretary, or she was trying to be a secretary, but he never really accepted her as a secretary. And that's pretty much her run on TV. Well, she shares a new transformation, and we can clearly see that she has changed her hairstyle. If we pull up the picture on the left, this was her original hair. Take a good look. Or it could also be that she took her glasses off. Something's definitely different about her. But that's her when she debuted on Raw. And then if we go to the next picture, this is as of this was like posted yesterday for her. This is her new look. So as you can see, her hair has changed a lot.
Yeah, as you can see here, her
Yeah, you
hairstyle.
see.
I
Yeah,
think it's
you
because
see
she
her
doesn't have
hair.
a purse in this one.
It could be that too. She's sitting in her car. Definitely a different.
She's not wearing stripes. You know, stripes make you look thinner.
Yes. I want to know if that's real. Because
Well, no, because it's obviously dyed.
no, I'm talking about the mountains in the background. Is that real scenery right there?
It does look green screen,
Yeah.
but she is
This
sitting in the
fake.
car. I don't know. Maybe it's some weird filter.
Is she faking? Is she fake? No, couldn't be. Everything in there is 100% real.
100%.
Yeah. But there you go. Now, this obviously garnered a lot of attention as, you know, she's been off TV and then it's like, hi, guys.
There is precedence for that. Remember, China did the same thing
She did.
until Michaels basically called it out.
Yeah. Did you have to say it? I mean, I guess pretty much everybody in WWE also, or pretty much, you know, all the women.
At least she
It's
doesn't
just
have LA
something-
face yet.
Yeah, that's true. It's just like something when you get that main roster money that just says, "All right, time to get it done." But yeah, that is Kiana James's new look.
Good for her.
And as we finish here, gotta talk about Corey Graves. So Corey Graves, excuse me, if you didn't know, when Pat McAfee came back from college football, Corey Graves, who was on the booth with Joe Tessitore at the time, this is working Monday Night Raw. I would say he was doing a pretty good job as a so you know he did the color commentary. I'd say he did a pretty good job with it. Would you say so?
I'd say he's one of the best commentators. Him and Wade Barrett.
Yeah, so he's doing his good job being a good soldier, and Pat McAfee, he comes back from his college football stint, and we didn't see Corey Graves on the debut of Monday Night Raw. And so people were like, "Well, where's Corey Graves? What's going to happen to Corey Graves?" People started asking. Well, you fast forward to Tuesday, and we see a 3-man booth on Tuesday. Booker T, Vic Joseph, and there's Corey Graves. So not even getting moved to SmackDown. He gets sent all the way to NXT. Demoted, if we're being honest. And there was a clip. So there was a clip that someone random just like highlighted, and it was the point where they're talking to Corey Graves about showing up on TV, or I'm sorry, showing up on NXT. He's with us on NXT. This is Vic Joseph, and you can tell in the clip that Corey Graves is just like pissed the fuck off. If I'm being honest, like he wasn't having any of it.
Is that on Twitter?
It is on Twitter, but it was just like some random account. But what came of it is what it sprung him to make this tweet. So yeah, he wasn't happy, and then a day later he sends out this tweet, Now, the tweet has since been deleted, but we got you here. We did happen to catch the tweet, and the tweet reads as follows. And this is Corey Graves. And he says,
Imagine chasing your dream.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Imagine chasing your dream, then being told, not deciding, that you're no longer physically able to pursue your dream. Then you dedicate your life to something dream adjacent and being pretty fucking awesome at it. True. And then when it's time to enjoy the fruits of your labor, being told you're not famous enough for your own job. Just in case you've wondered where I've been.
So that was the tweet. And then there was another tweet, a follow-up tweet to that, and he said, I'll have a lot to say on NXT. Now, this part of it made everybody think that, oh, this is clearly just a work, because why are you plugging NXT like that? I'm going to have a lot to say on NXT on the CW at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. You know, so that makes people think it was a work. Well, we fast forward. Now, remember that tweet. I'm going to have a lot to say tonight on NXT and CW. So we fast forward to tonight on CW. And there was no Corey Graves. There's not even a mention of Corey Graves. Like, he couldn't be with us or anything. It turns out, Corey Graves, we saw the news that Corey Graves just got removed from TV. Now, Fightful, they've done some digging, and they're saying that this is a real thing. Like, he is either trying to get fired or he's just pissed off. Disgruntled employee. Or the other option would be that this is like some angle for him versus McAfee.
I tend to lean that way.
You think it's an angle?
Yeah, because yeah.
Yeah, for me, I don't know. Because, I mean, it's good if it is an angle. Like, but you can believe it, right? Oh,
I just don't see.
Because it's what's happened.
I see Corey, if he is upset about it, I do see him, being upset about that. I see that part being real, but I don't, just the public tantrum. That's the part that makes me think it's bullshit.
Well, that's the thing. As we've learned pretty much today in our news stories and stuff, that it's so easy to just, the phone's always just right there. It's so easy to just pick up the phone, type something out, and then, push send, and then, I gotta delete it. I don't know why it's such a big deal. Like, you know how much stuff you gotta do to go on your phone and type up something and then push send. It doesn't ask if are you sure anymore, but like the PlayStation, like when you try to exit the game, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. So it's not that extreme where you have to like double confirm it, but it's so easy to send out these tweets and then, well, semi-easy. But then you have to walk it back because you get in trouble. So I could believe it either way. And maybe because he has done such a good job on commentary, he thought this time was going to be different. I mean, because you always knew it was going to happen. When you knew McAfee was coming back, you knew he was coming back. And he was going to be partnered with Michael Cole. Like, we always knew that was going to happen. Now, why they couldn't just do a three-man booth, that's another question.
Maybe Netflix only wanted two men.
maybe. It also should
Because
be
the three-man
noted
booth
that
sucks.
it does. But it should also be noted that McAfee is going to be doing the college football game that Texas is not going to be in this year, and Wade Barrett is going to take his place. So Corey Graves didn't even get to do the fill in.
They should have brought in whoever he does commentary with NXT with.
Vic Joseph.
Yeah, just bring him on Raw.
But yeah, it's definitely a developing story. We'll see if it's real or not.
I don't know. There's a lot of debate. I guess that's a good thing. If it is an angle, they got us talking about it. If it isn't an angle, I don't know what Corey Graves' end game is. I don't know how he's going to whine his way into a Monday Night Raw.
Maybe it's one of those things where he's trying to like get people behind him, because they listen. Cody Rhodes can tell you that. So maybe he's just trying to get people behind him, and then WWE will have to bend the knee.
I mean, in his defense, McAfee does suck.
I don't know. It's different for me because Oh, by the way, he didn't mention it on his show all week, so there's that too. That being McAfee. Like, he's usually good at mentioning stuff, but this time he didn't mention anything.
Because he's a bitch.
And it either goes with the work or goes without the work.
And he was a punter.
Yes.
He was a punter that got injured.
Hey. He's much bigger now, not being a punter. And that's ultimately the problem. That's why Corey Graves got told he wasn't famous enough. But on that note, let us know what you think in the comments below, of course. Let us know what you think of Counter James' new look. Corey Graves, is it real or not? Is Jey Uso diddling Jada Parker? Let us know. And on your way out, don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you were formerly on TikTok, you can go over to our Instagram. Maybe we'll start posting over there soon. Just see how this TikTok thing plays out. But on that note, is there anything else?
My balls itch. Not
right.
anymore now.
Good job. And on that note, survey says, one more for the good guys.